Oh, magnificent Monday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The Gregor Show is always presented by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game and use the promo code Gregor50 to get a free $50 play. PlayAlberta.ca. Tomorrow, $65 million up for grabs in Lotto Max. Good luck. And what a weekend it was in sports. For an August, the last 4 or 5 days have been great for sporting action. Pick your poison on what you like. Tennis, of course, Victoria Mbako, and what she did late last week was amazing. Was digging into that a little bit more and found it quite stunning that she was the second youngest woman to oust 4 major champions at a single event in the Open era, which dates back to 1968. The only tennis star younger to do it, maybe the greatest, Serena Williams. She did it back in 1999 en route to her first of 23 Grand Slam titles. So that's not bad. So it's rare that you got 4, major winners in an ATA 1000 event, WTA 1000 event. But she got past Alina Ryabinka, who, of course, won the 2022 Wimbledon. Sophia Kenin, who won the 2020 Australian Open. Coco Gauff, who's a 2-time major winner. 2023 U.S. Open, 25 French Open, and then beat Osaka in the final. Osaka, 2018 and 21 U.S. Open, and 2019 and 21 Australian Open. And who knows where young Mbako's career is going to go, but definitely be one interested to watch. Her resiliency to come back was awesome. Then you had the Elks game. Are you kidding me? The Elks, who, how do your running backs have 0 rushing yards in a game? Like it's wild to me. Now, I know it's 6 carries. I don't care. The longest was 3 yards. So you're losing yards on pretty much every other carry if you're Justin Rankin. So there's no lanes being opened up. You're not committing to the run. And thankfully, they won the game. And ultimately, that's what matters for this organization more than anything else. Win the game. And they won the game. And now they have a chance to pull within, at least in the standings. If you can beat Toronto at home this Friday night, and right now on Monday, the weather looks pretty good. Great. You beat Toronto. Now you're 3-6. And BC's 4-5. And you look at it and you say, at least there's a glimmer of hope and competitiveness. Now BC's at home. They're taking on Montreal. So they could be 6-4 by then. But if you're Edmonton, you just have to worry about yourself. You got to find a ways to win some games. Then you'll go into Ottawa the following Friday, the 22nd. And then there's a chance to, before you get to Labor Day, be at least respectable at 4-6 and find ways to win games. And that's what they did. Cody Fajardo, huge late touchdown pass. And man, going from a guy who I think it's fair to say cost him the game because he dropped what was the go-ahead touchdown with just over a minute to go. But life's all about how you rebound. And Julian Grant rebounded. 5 catches. Like, he didn't have an out-of-this-world game, but he had 2 key touchdowns. And their head coach, Mark Killam, spoke about the fact that you want to, as you grow as a team, you want to be able to not make mistakes at the crucial time of the game. If you're going to have a drop, try to have it in the first quarter because at least you have lots of time to recover. Really hard to recover when you drop potentially a game-winning touchdown with a minute to go. But he didn't do it. He held on to the ball, had 2 touchdowns. It was massive for them. Defense, we talked about it, Connor Halley. What did I say before I left? Elks would win, but also they were going to get their first interception from the secondary. And they got one. Where that throw would rank from McLeod Bethel Thompson as horrific throws of all time, it's got to be up there. I don't know where that throw is going because there was no receiver even close to that ball, but that's what Bethel Thompson does. I remember a GM telling me about Kevin Glenn. He goes, Kevin Glenn will throw 2 interceptions a game. It's up to you to catch them. And that's what Bethel Thompson did. Like, that was such a bad throw, and it was a massive play by Ford. Massive. And he returns it for a pick 6 and gave them some much needed life heading into half.
Yeah, Gregor. I mean, you think worst case, or what you would have thought worst case for Montreal there, you go into half up 16-4. They're in field goal range. You just can't turn it over. And especially in that, when the receiver not looking the right way, Ford running onto it full speed. No one's going to catch him. We know how fast he is. It was just a terrible, terrible play. Gave the Elks life that they need going into the second half, and a real game changer, 100%. Like, that was just a stupid throw. Nobody's in the vicinity. There's no point in throwing it. You're better off just to take the sack in that case. And hey, the Elks will take it. They needed it.
Yeah. You're not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I'll tell you right there. That was a massive turning point in the game. There's no question about it. And that's the Bethel Thompson you saw in Edmonton. They have lots of good numbers, and they would just make a bad decision, and boom, it ends up not all end up pick 6s, but it did, and the Elks got a win, and now a chance to get on a little bit of a streak, maybe. So Friday obviously is a massive game for the green and gold. The Stingers, 2 big games, 2 big wins, and now they head on the road for the playoffs in Calgary. And of course, tomorrow night, if you're looking for playoffs, I have the Riverhawks taking on tomorrow. Now, I know it's kind of a weird thing how it goes from a best of 3 and now it's sudden death. So as the games get more important, it's sudden death, and it's kind of awesome. Who doesn't like a sudden death game? Win and you move on, lose and you go home. And we will talk to the manager for the Riverhawks, Jake Lanferman. He'll join us coming up in the first hour today. Milt Stiegel will be by, talk some CFL, Cam Tate, 2-minute warning, Kevin Woodley. We got some great stuff because as Woodley, he's always on top of everything goaltending. Did you know there's an equipment change coming up for this season? How's it going to impact? Who's it going to impact? Which goalies? Because, certain equipment benefits guys based on stylist of how they play. So we'll talk to Woodley about that. We got Speck, Tyler Drake as we continue our NFL preview. We'll stop in Arizona today. Mike Wilner. We'll talk a little Jays. What a game. If you just tune in, because like me, I was driving home yesterday, got home around, I think it was bottom of the 7th, and it's a 3-2 game. And you get into the 8th inning, Jays go back-to-back jacks, Guerrero ties it, then Barger hits one. They're up 4-3, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is great. And then they tie it. Meanwhile, as bad as Hoffman was with his control, he did get a huge out with the bases juiced and got the infield fly right to the catcher to end the 8th. And then Ernie Clement, first pitch swinging, goes yard in the 9th. And then it was all sorts of stress. But Flaherty, are you kidding me? That was unreal drama to watch that. If you only tuned in for the 8th and 9th inning, you got your money's worth in that game for the Jays against the Dodgers. So they salvaged the series a bit. They at least get a win. Now they come home, another day off for them, get a break. Basically, they use their entire bullpen because they'd been rested, haven't pitched in a week. And Hoffman looked like a guy who was amped up, who hadn't pitched in a while, and he's throwing heat. He just couldn't control it. I think it's way too premature to think that, because of, that's what I hate. I hate the knee-jerk analysis that goes hyperbolic. If you want to say, hey, Hoffman got to be better, I would look at this and say, I'm not going to have my closer go 7 games without starting. Or sorry, not starting, without making an appearance. I don't care. Get him in at some point. And I know it's hard to predict. You're not thinking you're going to win games 45-6 and then you get blown out in LA. But at some point, put him in. Who cares? Just to stay in the rhythm. Closers, usually, what are they on average? 4 times a week, give or take, maybe 5. So that's how I would look at it. When he first came in, I just said, man, guy hasn't pitched in a week. He's a closer. I think his control is going to be off. And I'm not even a baseball guy. And I talked to baseball guys. I said, what happens when a guy's too excited? Like, he throws high. I text my pitching buddy, and guess what happens? Hoffman's throwing high. I'm like, all right. Because what is he throwing? 97, 98? It wasn't like he didn't have his stuff. He just couldn't control it. And the Dodgers, and he wasn't the only one. Like, the Jays were walking everyone. It's basically When I was watching the Jays, it was like I was on White Ave and people are just walking everywhere. It's just like, hey, hey. And many of you know it. I will say this. I don't know what it is about pedestrians in our country and just the lack of awareness. There's a motorized vehicle. It's a lot bigger and faster than you. I can't believe how many people just step off and just be like, hey, I got no rhyme or reason to think about my well-being here. I'm going to put you, the driver, to say, hey, I can just cross wherever I want. Like, it's stunning to me. Middle of the street, like jaywalking. I think if you sat on a main street in Edmonton, just if I was a police officer, and I don't if it's true that you need, a certain allocation of tickets, you could go and just sit on a busy street in Edmonton, like White Ave or Jasper Ave, and you could hand out and you could get your jaywalking allocation of tickets done in, I don't know, 3 hours. If you need 20 of them, because that's how you get it. Like, Cons, I don't know. I noticed it. I was in Canmore this weekend. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm on my bike and people are they're walking like there's no one even around them. And I'm looking, I'm like, do they have like headphones on? Are they No, they're just oblivious. It's an epidemic right now. The oblivious jaywalker. And that's what the Jays pitching was. They're just like, hey, we're just handing out walks to everybody. It was nuts. Do you notice the jaywalking? And not just even jaywalking, just like oblivious to pedestrians who are just kind of clueless.
Oh, absolutely. I see it with cyclists as well. When they're on their bikes at times, like it's dangerous. They're moving quick. It could happen at any intersection for sure. That's like kind of rule one, is it not? When you're like 3 years old, look both ways, and even younger than that. I don't know what it is. I think it's worse in other parts. Like, I feel like it's not as bad in Edmonton, but you notice it in, like, when you go to Vegas, people just have no regard. Like, it's you're not told to walk and they'll go for it. It's like they're ready to sue if anything happens. But as of late, I'm not out in too many popular areas, so it's been okay for me.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand people. Like, the first thing I taught my son, hey, when you're walking, I don't trust a car driver, because if they're not paying attention and we get in a collision, I'm losing every time. I'm losing. And don't give me oh yeah, I can sue him. Yeah, what? I can sue him and I got a broken neck and forever? No, it's not worth it. Get your head up. That's what I would say. God, it just drives me up the wall. I can't be the only one who notices it. Like, now there's even worse is on the walking paths now. Like, people, they got their headphones on and you're biking in a path and stay on the right. You ring your bell. They got no clue. They're just walking in the middle. Then you come by and they got like a look and I'm like, what? What do you want? I rang my bell 3 times, idiot. So anyway, serenity now. But that was a great game. And so we'll talk a little Jays as we're into the final, quarter of the season in Major Leagues of Baseball. The Jays got just over 40 games left. So final down the stretch they come in MLB, and the Jays are going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of where they're going to finish in the American League. I will say this, because we got text coming in already. Hey, Gregor, you have any update on McDavid? I've said this all along. I'm not going to pretend, because there are lots of people pretending out there. This is what's happening. No. Now, I've talked to people on both sides. I haven't got any concrete answer that I can say with certainty on what it's going to be. Now, the thing I've said for over a year, McDavid's going to sign in Edmonton. So to me, when he signs is really irrelevant. He's signing an extension. Now, I don't know the term of it. I don't believe it's going to be super long. Again, I don't believe that's not 100%. But as I've said for a few months, I think it's, a mid-range to shorter range contract. And that's not a negative. I don't view it as a negative. Now, and I've been consistent with this for years, so it's not about McDavid. I've said it. My stance. 28 years of age, nobody should get longer than 5 years. I think it's better for the league. It's better for the players. It's better for everybody. And you can't be worried that your best player is going to leave. Look at the history of the NHL. When do the best guys leave their team? How often? Who have been the big name stars that have left? Now, Jack Eichel left. You know why? Because the Buffalo Sabres, 14 years without a playoff appearance, by the way, didn't like the surgery that he wanted to have. And look what happened. He had the surgery. He's fine. Right? They were stubborn. They're like, no. So don't confuse that one to a guy just wanting out. Like, the only guy who really left who didn't necessarily have a great reason would be John Tavares. And that's fine. He's allowed to do it. But that was it. Alex Pietrangelo. What happened with him leaving St. Louis? They had won. And Pietrangelo felt like, hey, I should get my contract extension. They didn't want to do it. And then at the last minute, they tried to say, no, now we'll sign you. And he was like, too late. So really, that's it. It doesn't happen very often in the NHL. Guys are loyal. They get comfortable. I understand it. For the most part, the teams are fairly competitive, right? There's no guarantee they all win, of course. Right? Think about how many Stanley Cup winners we've had in the salary cap era. Not a ton of organizations that win, but lots of players stay with their organizations. So 5-year max. I've said it for a long time. So with McDavid, it might only be 4 years because the salary cap is going up so much. I could see why he says, hey, if he signs a 4-year extension this summer, that means it won't kick in until next year. Okay, so keep that in mind. So next year, we already know that the salary cap is going to be, 104 million. So his first year of his deal is 104. The second year of his deal is 113. Now, if it keeps on that pace, and I'm not sure it can, but let's just pretend, even if it goes to half, then it's 118. And then by the fourth year of his deal, it's up over $123 million. So I get why the best players like, I don't want to lock in long-term because I'll end up being Nathan McKinnon. What did Nathan McKinnon say? You don't want to be the best value contract in the NHL. You want to be a good contract that's fair market value. That's what you want. And your best players, they keep producing. To me, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. So I look at McDavid's contract and said it all along. He's going to sign an extension. I don't know what term it is. I'm not going to guess and pretend and, try to tell people, oh, I know what it is when, people are just guessing all the time. I don't get it. But so I would just say this to Oilers fans. You're going to get many more years of McDavid. And if the team continues to be competitive, then you'll get him for a long time. His best buddy's signed for 8 years. That probably benefits him. Why not? When we come back, changes in goaltending equipment. We'll look at that on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power of 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
At On the Rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tunes.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade, safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Edmonton Elks Country Night is back Friday, August 15th against Toronto. Presented by Coconut Cowboy Row, featuring the EE Bull Riding Competition, country music all night long, plus a petting zoo and pony rides for the kids. Tickets start at just $20 at GoElks.com.
Mr. Rooter connects with Gen Z.
I have 84 followers, as my niece would say. Slay.
No, that's cringe.
How do I get more?
You're a plumber. Make a skibbity toilet joke.
A skibbity what now?
Or make a fashion calendar full of super hot plumbers, Plumbers with drip.
Young lady, I'd appreciate it if you'd stop acting so thirsty around my employees.
Burn, Uncle Mr. Rooter.
Slay.
For a plumber who cooks, call Mr. Rooter.
Some people wake up and get dressed for work in a suit and tie or a nice dress. At GS Construction, we're less fashion forward and more putting our best foot forward. We wear hard hats and steel toe boots, and most importantly, we wear 50 years of experience with pride. It's not glamorous, it's definitely not easy, but it matters. We do it well. So if you'd like to be part of something where your work matters, GS Construction is hiring. Just remember, when you come for an interview, ditch the tie. See more at gsconstruction.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Ah, summer. The sun's out, the road's calling. And your car said, nope. Don't let your summer road trip turn into a roadside nap. Swing by Napa Auto Parts. Napa has the trusted tools, smarts, and quality parts for all your automotive needs this summer. Get your vehicle ready for the road and just in time for your kids to start testing your patience and sanity.
Are we there yet?
With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
That's a really good tune by The Weeknd. Love it. Good Canadian, too. Fantastic. Happy Monday, The Gregor Show. Thanks for listening. Presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday afternoon. Maybe you're on holidays. Maybe you're planning to go on holidays. Maybe you just got back from holidays. It's that time of year. So enjoy it. Some camps, maybe the final camps for some kids. Send them away to camp, sleepover camp. Hope it's good. Let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, where continues on. It's nice weather outside. $2 Sundays, $2 snack size milkshakes, or even better, download the app to your phone, and you can order $1 cones only through the McDonald's app. Enjoy. As we talk NHL, as always, with Kevin Woodley. We'll just talk goaltending with Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com. Woodley, how you doing?
I'm good. I sent my kid to a sleepover camp. She's gone for the next 8 months.
Now, is this the first year your daughter's gone full time?
My oldest daughter's been in university she's going into 4th year, and in the last 2 summers, she spent 1 day at home. So she's done. She's gone. And my youngest is now gone down to to play volleyball, NCAA Div 2 volleyball. Yeah, very proud parent moment here. And she picked an okay spot to go to school. She got an offer from University of Hawaii Hilo. So I sent her and my wife down to Hawaii last week. They're settling in. They've got a training camp going this week. They're settling into the dorms. And like I said, it's going to be weird being home alone, but I might just have to find a way to get down there and check out some volleyball action, because it's not a bad place to be.
Let's be honest, dad moment here. Your youngest leaves, right? Your oldest, you had a little trial record, but then when the oldest leaves, it's like, oh, now I got to spend all my time on my youngest one. The youngest one's like, oh my God, Dad, leave me alone after a while. So, was Dad crying at the airport when he shipped off his youngest?
If Dad was crying at the airport, it was because he learned some hard lessons about your first crossing into the U.S. with a student visa. It was an adventure. It was emotional, Jason, but it almost didn't have time to be emotional.
Oh, okay.
It took a lot longer than we had anticipated. We missed their first flight in Bellingham, which is 20 minutes from my house across the border. We actually got there in time, but there's no one at the desk. It's a tiny airport. So I literally, in Seattle rush hour traffic, raced to Seattle to make their connection, dropped them off at the front door with about 5 minutes before they were going to get cut off. Quick hug, goodbye. The emotions, I think, will come as we get into, life without anybody else in the house. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Now you and your wife have to talk to each other all the time.
Don't you feel for her, eh? Like this, you get me once a week. She's got to deal with me all the time.
Your wife's just going to be like, what? What are you talking about? I don't care about the reverse VH. Okay. Stop telling me about it. So that'll be good.
I don't know if I should be nervous, but she only bought a one-way ticket down to Hawaii because she wasn't sure when she was coming home. If it wasn't for the fact she loves the dog, I'd be a little worried myself she's coming home at all.
There you go. Now, let's get to some goaltending stuff. There's a new CHL equipment rule. What is it, and who's it going to impact this year?
Well, it's more of a partnership, sponsorship, and it's going to impact a lot of goalies, and it's already starting to have a bit of an impact on some. So the CHL is now going to be a Bauer league. And so, while I'm not entirely sure what that means for goaltenders, it's not like you can only wear Bauer, but that is going to be the primary equipment provider for goaltenders. So things like goalie pants, certain aspects of the equipment will be universal. You'll have to wear the Bauer version of it. So there's an adjustment there. But the biggest, and it's a big one for a lot of goalies, is CCM is no longer one of the partnered paid sponsor equipment providers in the CHL. And there were a lot of goalies. Think of Joshua Ravensbergen, you think Carter George, I think some of the biggest names in the CHL, not all of them, but quite a few of them were wearing CCM equipment. And so a lot of people will be like, hey, no big deal. It's just get another set of pads. Yeah. But man, these, you talk about gloves, the way they close around the hands. It's funny. I test equipment as part of Ingol's job and farm it out. I have a group of people at multiple levels, right up to pro, that try equipment for us and give us feedback. And like, you put on a different glove and you don't realize that depending on where the pocket and break angles sit, it not only changes how it closes around your hand, but literally the location of the pocket relative to your hand, whether it's up above the thumb or out extended past the fingers, like it changes where you catch the puck. And if you think of all the reps you do to make that instinctual over years and years, getting that same feel, getting that same break angle, like it's not easy. And complicating matters further, True, the equipment company, is now in the CHL for the first time. There are for sure some similarities, especially in glove breaks and feels, to the CCM, but they're a smaller company. And all of this equipment is made in their Montreal factory, which runs at capacity to get there for NHL guys. And so there are goalies starting camp next week that don't know what they're wearing, haven't been able to get samples from all the companies, and are basically going to important draft type seasons with a lot of uncertainty surrounding what they're going to wear and how they're going to feel with that stuff on their legs and hands.
So there's pants is mandatory, right? Like you have to wear Bauer pants.
I believe that's, and I don't have the exact specifications on all this, but that was the case. I believe it was CCM in the past. So that everybody had CCM pants. There are certain items on there. Neck guards are one, although that's not a hard one to adjust to, where you can only wear certain brands. The biggest one is the gloves and the pads, though, and that's where the big change is.
So the CCM's not a guaranteed provider. So they used to give some players pads and gloves?
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much about give. Teams had to pay for stuff, but it's more that you can't. Now, there's going to be a grandfathering early in the season to help these kids get through the adjustment, but you're not allowed to order new. Like, you could go buy it yourself. You're not allowed to wear it. You're not allowed to order new CCM gear. You need to order something from one of the other companies, or your team needs to order something from one of the other companies, and you need to wear that. I think the three that are in this year will be True, Bauer, and Vaughn.
Okay, so True, Bauer, and Vaughn. So no CCM pants or pads or gloves.
Right. You might see some, like I said, early grandfathered in. But there's a lot of uncertainty out there. Like kids, literally, it's August 11th. Camp starts in a month, and there are some that are not entirely certain whether the stuff they've ordered will be here, whether they're just going to wear last year's to start. And then you're looking at, hey, you get into October, you're not just switching into a new set of pads or gloves. You might be completely switching brands and how it feels. So like this has happened forever. I got some stories. We talked about this on the In Goal Radio podcast a week ago, and I got stories from goalie coaches remembering like the 90s when they were forced to change things and how awkward it was. And there was one story about Dan Kluche in the OHL literally spray painting old pads to make them look fresh, so he didn't have to change to the new requirements. Guys showing up one day after wearing their old stuff for so long because there'd been fines and pushback. They show up one day and their old stuff is gone and there's new stuff in their locker. And it's like, hey, you're wearing this tonight. You don't have a choice. And the next time they got to wear their old stuff, as one told me that he lasted 12 minutes of that game in the new stuff. And he was quickly wearing his old stuff again, but down in junior A because he'd been cut from the OHL.
Kevin Woodley from Ingo Magazine, NHL.com joins us. Kev, I know that I understand that, Peter Aubry and Stuart Skinner are doing some time together in Kelowna. Matt Tompkins is also out in Kelowna, although I think he's working with someone different than Skinner. We are. We're basically just like a month away from training camp. What kind of goes on in these meetings? And what do you think Aubry and Skinner are? Is it just a get to know each other thing? What do you think happens with them?
I would imagine that's a big part of it, Jason. So much of the job is psychological. Like we can talk about technique and all these different things. And obviously I geek out on that stuff as much as anyone. Okay, maybe more so than anyone. But the reality is it's all about finding ways to make these guys feel good about their game. Like even if there's something you don't love that they do, if they're confident in it and able to execute it, and you know that that's a strength and you make them feel good about it, you can live with that. So a lot of the early process, and they've been going through this already with video and stuff like that, is, hey, here's some things we might try and change. Don't be surprised if rush entries look a little different for Stuart in terms of where he starts on the ice and how that allows him to sort of maybe not get caught out as often in terms of that approach. Look for that to change. But there are going to be other things that, you'll get on the ice and it won't be comfortable. It might not fit or it might not take right away. And so then you have to make a decision, and you would hope that you're making it mutually. Hey, we tried this. I like this long term. Didn't have enough chance to get into it this summer. Not comfortable right now. Let's do it the way I was doing it. We'll find ways to mitigate it. Those are the types of conversations that I think you have. Seeing it on ice. The other part of this that I think is really important, though, is that Peter gets to know the people that are around Stuart, the people that he's already leaning on, for biomechanical work in the offseason. But Adam Francilia is the coach that does that. And he also touches base with his guys during the year. So making sure you're on the same page, there's no mixed messages in terms of what your video sessions look like. If Adam's doing video sessions and Peter's doing video sessions, is the messaging and even the language. I remember when I think it was Scott Clemenson went into New Jersey as the director of goaltending for the first time. He built the dictionary so that every person in the goalie department at the levels below him use the same wording. Like you talk about even reverse VH, there's reverse, there like so many different things. So this is an important part of this process in my mind, trying to understand who the people are and what they do that help Stuart feel his best and making sure you're on the same page as them.
Yeah, no, I like that because, terminology matters, right? And you know what, you just want to know what it is so they're not thinking about it. So you make it clear. I like that. Have a little short little dictionary, give it to everybody. I want everybody to be on the same page when we're talking. So there's no confusion. There's no like, what do you mean? Right? Just you want them to, it sounds crazy, but you want them less thinking, more natural and understanding what you're doing without having to think, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. And again, like it is incredible because this is a position where like what we have one technique in the last few years that has been adopted that got called the panda. And it got called the panda. It's a dead angle technique where if the play gets down on the wing, it was Dustin Wolf actually that popularized it. And actually Canada won a World Junior the next year with a goalie who told me adopting it and adding it to his game after watching it at In Goal Magazine and learning it through In Goal Magazine was a big part of the reason they won a World Junior. So it became a popular technique, but literally it's named the panda because as he flattens out on his post on a dead angle, rather than going into a reverse, doing an overlap, but intentionally sort of flattening the backside leg down to the goal line to prepare for either a wraparound or a pass out, it literally looks like a panda rubbing its butt against a piece of bamboo as the goalie sort of centers himself on the post with his ass. So clearly there are different names for things that, might not resonate with everyone. You could call it a flattened out overlap, but no, somebody came up with that name. So yeah, language matters. Sometimes the stories are funny about how it comes to bear. There's a lot of goalie coaches that come up with something and put their own voice on it, their own words, making sure you all understand what it means in your organization is a part of the offseason process.
Kevin Woodley from Ingo Magazine, NHL.com, joins us. So, Kev, looking ahead to this coming season, and I found it interesting that I guess it's not even this year, but later this month, the Team Canada is going to have their orientation camp, and they have the same amount of defensemen. They got way more defensemen forwards than they had at the last tournament, Four Nations, but it's only the same 3 goaltenders. Blackwood isn't invited. Thompson isn't invited. Kemper isn't invited. Now, I know that doesn't mean they can't make the team, but is it just me, or does it seem odd that they're going with the exact same 3 goalies when I'm not sure they're the best 3 goalies Canada has?
Yeah, it is a little odd to me. I haven't seen, and I apologize, I meant to look this up today. Have we seen any, like, are they going to be on the ice?
No, there's no on ice. It's just off.
Right. So this is just off ice. So, okay, you're not worried about getting reps. That's one thing.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, like, if you're inviting forwards who may or may not be on the team. You've added, I watched Celebrini and Bedard skate last week. They're going to be there together. They weren't on the Four Nations team. Like, they're possible additions. And why are you having this camp? I'm assuming a bit of camaraderie, but also to go over expectations and systems and execution, like how we're going to play, how we're going to forecheck, how we're going to defend the neutral zone. Well, who's kind of an important part of that equation in terms of being able to read off how you play? The guys in the pipe. So I don't understand, if you're inviting other player positions, why you just wouldn't include more of the goalies that could be options on your team to make sure that it could even be injury, right? Like Jordan Binnington, as healthy as he's been throughout his career, what if he gets hurt? Right now you're looking for a new number 1, like for sure one of those, or somebody, Montembeault gets hurt or Hill gets hurt, and Hill's been hurt a lot in his career. Like, you're going to need one of these guys. Why wouldn't you want them up to speed on all these things? And if there's no point, like if there's nothing for them to learn at this camp, then why invite the goalies at all? Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. The cost to add 2 or 3 more of those guys, where do we cut off the list? I don't know. But it leaves me scratching my head a little bit. If there's value at all to the camp, then there would be value to having more goaltenders be a part of it and get on the same page.
Yeah, I agree with it. And like, honestly, if I had you to rank, okay, you've got Binnington. Like, Binnington, I said for sure is coming back. He won the Four Nations. He played great. He made some huge saves. He's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But Hill and Montembeault, I don't think are locks better than Blackwood, Kemper, or Thompson.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people look to Darcy Kemper, and we've had this conversation before, right? Vezina Trophy finalist, and a lot of people say, he plays behind the LA Kings. Absolutely, that's a part of it. But as we've talked about, like, the Kings defensively, they gave up more this year. Darcy was really good behind it. And if we're being honest, isn't that kind of the point? Like, isn't Canada going to be that team, one that doesn't give up a ton at the Olympics? A team where you have to be comfortable playing behind a strong defensive environment. We've talked about the mental stress of that. Darcy's won a Stanley Cup. He's been on big stages. I would assume that he has, he'd be a guy that would be on that list. And then there's Mackenzie Blackwood as well, who, once he got onto a decent team in Colorado, showed how good he can be. So I'm with you. I mean, barring ranking the 6 of them and figuring out who's better right now, because they've all got upside. Logan Thompson was incredible last year, right? A Vezina Trophy leading candidate for 2/3 of the season. So if he gets off to a similarly sizzling start, he won a round in the playoffs. And again, even injuries, it does boggle the mind a little bit that if there's value to the camp, you wouldn't see the value in bringing more guys to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, I totally, I'm kind of curious by it, like, because if you were ranking him, Binnington's in the top 3 for sure, but I'm not sure Hill or Montembeault are.
Yeah, and Hill's had stretches where he's been. He didn't last year. Like if I'm basing it based strictly on last year's number, he's not. Montembeault's, behind Blackwood and Kemper based on how they played last season. Now, again, there may be some specifics. They have an excellent goalie coach who's, I think they named a consultant instead of a coach. I'm still on my soapbox about the absurdity of his name not being included on the Four Nations trophy when the president of Hockey Canada has his name on it. But beside the point, They've got an excellent goalie coach. And so if there are systems things, if there are things about how we're going to play and presentations to be made and getting the goalies on the same, maybe it's possible that he looks at those other three guys and says, hey, they might not fit how we're going to play. Maybe he sees more in Aiden Hill or Sam Montembeault in terms of being a fit. I just don't know why in a game where injuries happen, you wouldn't expand that list and make more guys a part of it. I'm with you. Kemper, off the season he had, and even Blackwood to me are right there with Montembeault, and on the season that Aiden Hill had, frankly, going into this year at least, both ahead of him.
Yeah. Kevin Woodley from InGoal Magazine, NHL.com. Join us. One last one for you, Kev. Looking at the goalie carousel now that it's pretty much been full. There are some would argue that there's a few extra spots around. What do you think Boston does? Do they keep Korpisalo and risk Leclerc on waivers? Do you think they keep Leclerc? Do they move Korpisalo? What do you think they're going to do?
I'm assuming Mikey DiPietro on the waiver thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Did I say Leclerc? Yeah. DiPietro.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. Right. Like in New Jersey, we know Nico Dawes is going to be on waivers unless they keep three, because it's going to be Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen. Korpisalo, I thought he'd have more of a bounce back than he did last year. I had him as a candidate. Bob Essens is one of the top goalie coaches in the game. I thought there'd be some things there that would work in Jonas's game. Now, listen, they fell off a cliff defensively too, and I'm not sure they're going to be any better this year. So I genuinely don't have the answer there, Jason. I'd be surprised to see Jonas Korpisalo on waivers, and yet there's a real risk there if you put Michael DiPietro on waivers. So I'm if they're looking to move off the salary, depending on how they view this season, I mean, you got to have three. So do you just assume Korpisalo will clear? Do you see things in his game you think he can benefit from working on in the American Hockey League? I don't have those answers. And it's really hard to see them as a team that obviously doesn't want to lose DiPietro, but also still needs the depth. And I think when they got Jonas Korpisalo, they thought there'd be an impact and a positive uptick in his game as well. And a lot of this will be that trust that they have in Bob Essenza. Like, hey, like, were there trends? Was there something we saw, but you saw behind the scenes as you worked with him that you think is going to continue to trend up, or after an off season, it's going to click? Don't forget, Linus Ullmark in his first year in Boston kind of pushed back on they call it recoil, that sort of backwards flow. And it wasn't until the second season and the off season that he really bought in, and look how he took off. So unless there's something there where Essence is like, hey, like we're real close with this, trust me on Korpisalo, then I guess it's possible he could be the odd man out.
No, I was just curious. Kev, great stuff, buddy. We'll chat with you next Monday. Have a great week.
Thanks, Jason.
Kevin Woodley from InGoal Magazine and NHL.com. When we come back, we're talking playoffs, baby. It's here. We'll discuss it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season.
How's the show, fellas?
For the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
What does excellence truly mean, and how does it guide your choices? At Volvo Cars Edmonton, excellence isn't just a goal, it's their standard. They shine in every aspect, from top-tier customer satisfaction in sales and service to impressive inventory, strong customer loyalty, and prices that are tough to match. Experience the dedication to quality firsthand at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw a load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Tee off to win with Cattail Crossing's $10,000 hole-in-one challenge, powered by Sports 1440, Canada's first ever Aqua Range event. Just walk up, grab some golf balls, and start swinging. Or book a VIP bay today. Win 10 grand with a hole-in-one, plus great secondary hole and leaderboard prizes. Closest to the pin and monthly winners will battle for a $50,000 grand prize. The hole-in-one challenge, open Thursday to Sunday, noon till 8 through August. Weather permitting, cattailcrossing.ca.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way. Calgary rules.
But when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhauk beef jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhauk beef jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.248, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday afternoon. Of course, we have playoffs, baby. Fantastic in the for the Edmonton Riverhawks as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. You want to take action on your savings? Well, the best time to do it right now. Look at it. It's sunny outside, and all the money you're losing. Get solar on your home. It'll save you year-round for either commercial or residential. ActionElectrical.net. As a head coach of the Riverhawks, Jake Lanferman joins us once again. Jake, congratulations. Big 3-game series win over Victoria. I guess let's get your thoughts on that first and what you liked about your team's performance. Basically, you kind of faced Victoria in 7 straight games this past week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week heading out there and then staying out there for the start of that first round matchup. But pitching has been extremely strong for us. Games 1 and 3, we saw Hemmerling and Miles Chamberlain dominate both those games and give us a really good shot to win. And a little bit of adversity out there. They won two straight in that 4-game set to get the overall record and clinch a back half win. So it's been a fun week of baseball, and the boys are playing well, and it's fun to watch.
Now, maybe this is me, and my memory could be easily wrong, but you guys are hitting way more home runs this year, are you not? Was that something you felt like in all your scouting, say, we got to get some bigger hitters here?
Yeah, I think we do have a little bit more on the power side this year. I'm not sure if we broke the single season record that we had down here at Remax, but there was that one game against Nanaimo, us and them. There were 5 home runs down at Remax in one evening, and I don't know the last time that's happened. So it's been fun to watch, and the guys we have in the middle of the order have those power numbers, they can change a game with one swing, which is exciting.
Now, moving ahead to tomorrow night, now we get to, it's like a 7-game series, and these are all game 7s from now on. Win and you move on, lose and you go home, which is very exciting. It's fantastic. I'm sure it's easy for everybody to get up for. I'm just curious about, do you guys, because I know Bellingham technically was the number 1 seed because they won the first half. How do you guys, is it because you won the second half or because you had the better overall record? Is that why you're hosting tomorrow?
Yeah, it comes down to the better overall record after the first round. Yeah.
Okay. So you had 34-20. They were 33-21. So you get home field advantage, which has been a great place for you. The crowd's going to be electric. Who do you got going on the bump tomorrow night?
Tomorrow we have starting is Matthew Ridsdale, left-handed pitcher from Edmonton, which is pretty exciting.
Oh, geez. So now, is that a little bit of strategy having the lefty, or do the Bells struggle against lefties, or is he just your best option?
They have a lot of left-handed hitters, so matchup-wise, we like it. But he is also hasn't thrown as much in the last week as other starters. So a little bit of both. But he's definitely a guy that if he can get grooving with some confidence, it should be fun to watch.
So, Jay, what's your strategy heading into a one-off game? Like, is everybody available? Are you, hey, you know what? I might be quicker to pull a guy, or you look and say, man, like I really like him, and if he has one bad inning, I want to stick with him. How do you balance that in a playoff game where it's one win and winner take all, and you move on or you go home?
Yeah, I think we're in a spot where at least arm wise, we played 10 games in 9 days before playoffs, and then we had the 3 games in the last 3 days. So whoever's ready and able to throw with pitch limits and whatever it's looking like on how that lines up, we're going to use all of our options. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head. You win and you move on, or you lose and the season's over. So some guys that may be notoriously starters 4 days ago are going to come out of the pen and just trying to maximize the usage of our guys and understand what roles they might flourish in. But it's a different look than, hey, prepping for a normal game in the regular season. And I think the way these guys have been battling in the whole back half, actually, it's just fun to watch their competitiveness kind of rise to the occasion. And getting the home field advantage is massive too. I mean, it is a really tough place to play. We went 21-7 in the whole season at home. So last year we lost to them in the first round, and we won at home and lost 2 games in Bellingham.
Yes.
So it's nice to have that kind of flip and make them travel all the way here tomorrow as well.
And you guys have been the better team. In the second half, you had 5 more wins than them. So, you probably feel pretty confident. And I know that the past technically means nothing when you head into it. But we talked about your starting pitcher. What about your lineup? Do you know who they're going to start? And does that impact who you have in the lineup?
With where we're at with a lot of guys, we got banged up in the last few games too. So we have a couple outfielders that are injured right now. And everybody just kind of heading back to school, and we are losing guys as this continues to move on, which makes it more challenging. So we got our guys that obviously in yesterday's game I thought did a really good job, and we're going to stick to a very similar lineup to that. And I'm sure they're in the same boat as us. They might have their starter slated, but that could be maybe that's 40 to 50 pitches if he threw 3 or 4 days ago, right? So it is just a very different look of a baseball game. And I think the message that we have been trying to emphasize, especially yesterday, is just being ready to go in the first inning. We did a good job last night. We got a 6-run lead, and then we got some insurance later on, and that was the dividends in the game. And we ended up winning with that, the extra couple innings we got in the 6th. So if we can right from the rip, just be ready to play baseball, play our best baseball, we'll be in a good position.
Jake, who got injured? Which outfielders aren't available?
Mitchell Middlemiss took a pitch to the hand in game 1 in Victoria, and he's actually got a fractured hand. So he'll be out for 3 to 5 weeks. And then our other outfielder, Noah Brooks, he got caught up in a bunt play with the first baseman, and he actually had to shut down and get ready for school here because he wasn't getting any healthier. So, the majority of our lineup is very similar to last night, and we have our big guns, and the guys in the bottom of the order have been producing at a great level too. So they're the guys we needed to step up in the back half. Definitely have pitchers and position players, and it's been fun to watch everybody kind of get up to the level of our leaders and the competitiveness they want us to have. Can you talk a little bit about just what it means for your team? Like the fans, you continue to set records for attendance in the league, and just, how loud it is. And, I've had people going to the games and they're just loving it right now. And how you feel that excitement from the fans inside the dugout. Yeah, I think the guys, every single time we get these bigger crowds, it feels like we rise to the occasion of the atmosphere, and it's a lot easier to play a baseball game when you have 7,000 or 8,000 people cheering for you rather than in Bellingham with the opposite. So I know we've enjoyed every second we've had down here, and I've been doing this 4 years. It seems like this year it really just took off where even midweek games we're getting 7,000 or 8,000 on a Tuesday or Wednesday, which we were just grateful and fortunate that the city's rallied around us. And I think it's twofold. I think these guys are doing the same with everybody supporting them.
Jay, are you a superstitious guy at all?
It depends. There's some stuff a little stitious, maybe not superstitious.
Oh yeah, I'm not superstitious, a little stitious. Who doesn't use that line all the time? It's a classic from Michael Scott. So I get it. Anytime you can throw an Office reference in, I'm all here for it, Jake. So,
there you go.
Enjoy Monday night, and more importantly, be rested and enjoy tomorrow. Should be a packed crowd tomorrow night for a playoff game in Edmonton, because it's the last game of the year. We know for sure in Edmonton, because regardless of if you win, you're going to go play the winner of the South, because Corvallis and Portland both have more wins than you, right? So this will be for anybody out there who's like, well, maybe I'll wait for the final. Don't wait. Go tomorrow night.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thanks, Jake. Best of luck.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. That's Jake Lanferman, the coach for the Edmonton Riverhawks. And it was a great weekend of baseball if you got to go to the games. And if you're just thinking about maybe you got that playoff itch, you know how it is, that nervousness when you go, and it might not be the same if you haven't followed the team, but I'm telling you, I don't care what league it is. When you're in a building, you're in a stadium, you're in an arena, and it's a playoff game, everybody feels it more. It's just everybody's a little bit more on edge. And the thing that's cool about a baseball playoff game is like every pitch can matter, because it could be a home run. Like, literally, it can. Right? There's a chance on every pitch, potentially, there could be a home run. That could change the game. So, it makes it exciting, and you're on edge. So go to the game tomorrow night. I'll text Hogle and find out where they're at and see it with ticket sales, but I'm guessing they're going pretty quick, because it was a great weekend for ball, and looks right now. Now I'm no meteorologist, but according to the meteorologist, weather right now, man, obviously it's Alberta, so it can change in 20 minutes, but it's looking like it should be decent. So it's awesome. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Cattail Crossing. Hey, are you an early riser? You want to get up? You want to tee it off? Well, they'll give you a free breakfast when you tee it off at Cattail Crossing. So sign up. You get free during the week breakfasts, $55 a round of golf and breakfast, cattailcrossing.ca. And the restaurant's awesome.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Lincoln Gretzky Cup is underway in Czechia. Canada kicked off their tourney this morning with a 5-3 win over Finland. They'll be back in action tomorrow morning, taking on the Swiss. That one gets going at 7:30 a.m. at Mountain Time. Elsewhere today, Sweden crushing Germany 10-0. Host Czechs over Switzerland 6-2, and U.S. doubling up Slovakia 6-3. 12 games in the majors. Jays off today before hosting the Cubs on Tuesday. They'll have the Reds taking on the Phillies. Twins in New York for a meeting with the Yankees. Royals host the Nationals. Rockies take on the Cards. Dodgers and Angels. Giants host the Padres, and the Rays in Sacramento to take on the Athletics. One game in the WNBA is the Sun taking on the Valkyries. Tip off 8 p.m. Some good news from the NFL for Eagles fans, as reports say Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson has avoided major injury, and the plan is for him to undergo surgery that could put him in line to return early in the 25 season, potentially even week 1 against the Cowboys. And from the UFC world, they've agreed to deal with Paramount. 7 years, $7.7 billion deal that puts all fights on Paramount Plus and select fights on CBS beginning in 2026. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by CFL legend and TSN analyst Milt Stiegel, and to hear another edition of Cam Tate, 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go. At On the Rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, Bingo Tune.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jeff Brab and 118th.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. oodle-oodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and oodle-oodle-oodle.ca. Oodle-noodle.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Work never gets done by standing around. You have to put your words into action. And that's exactly what GS Construction does every single day. Our priorities are safety first, quality second, efficiency third. GS Construction works hard. It's true, but first comes the care, the planning, and the people. Underground infrastructure isn't just about machines and trenches and some traffic inconveniences. It's about doing things right. Find out more on what we do. Visit gsconstruction.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Centre on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Centre by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? By Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It is the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Tomorrow night, $65 million up for grabs and 8 max millions. So good luck. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. You know, you work with someone for a long time. You feel like you know them. And then just in a random conversation in the commercial break, as I see it brought back memories of another person that I worked with who clearly was a lot more outgoing, or not, or maybe they didn't hide their addiction like these two. Declan Kruger and Connor Halley are like two chapstick junkies in studio right now. They get up and, you know, Declan forgot his, Connor forgot his. And I'm like, what do you guys like, Struds? And he's like, yeah, but Struds uses that little blue tub and you always have to stick your finger in it, which is kind of gross because, you know, like, what's he touching? Anyway, but so Cons, I did not know. I mean, you and I have worked, I don't know if I've ever even seen you put on. Now, granted, you always, in every studio, there's like a barrier between you. Like me and you, you've got all the screens, so I can't really see your face all the time. And even at old TSN, it was through the mirror and you had the screen on, so I didn't see it all the time. That you also literally, like, how often are you applying chapstick?
Typically at least once an hour, usually before my update. I feel like it's just my lips don't get all I guess there's less friction. I feel like I'm getting into like strutty territory right here. But yeah, I throw it on all the time, and there's less friction on the lips. You just kind of speak a little bit better, you know. But no, you're right. I noticed Declan going through his bag like a madman.
Like seriously, like I thought he lost something serious. Like, oh my God, I don't know what it could. Like, did I forget my keys? I don't have my wallet.
He asked me if I had mine, and
oh yeah,
he's asked me probably 3 times in the last 2 years, maybe. So I know it's a serious concern he's got right now. And yeah, I forgot mine as well. So I told him I'm just trying not to think about it. Try to drink as much water as I can and just try to move on. But yeah, we're both pretty rattled back here.
Oh my God. I will say though, like you two have hit it pretty well. And I did not know about it. So when we had Dr. Sarah McGee on the show, now Mark Majot, I think, was with us when we had Sarah McGee, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, okay. So that's probably why, but you might have listened to it and known. But I didn't know you had that. Have you ever tried to wean yourself off the chapstick?
No, I haven't. For the cost of a stick of chapstick, it hasn't been worth it for me. I love it. I love that sensation, especially when it's been dry for a while and just throw that fresh layer on. It's good. Can't beat it. I think I started in high school. I heard Mike Vick used to use it, and he'd keep the tube in his helmet, like during games.
What do you mean he kept the tube
in between the padding? He'd just stash it up there.
Really?
That was the rumor, but yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this for the odd time, and then.
So you got chapstick because Mike Vick used chapstick.
Not the entire reason, but he definitely made it seem cooler back then.
Oh.
This is young Mike Vick.
Now, is there anything else here? Like, are you running a dog fighting ring?
No.
I should know about or anything? Just want to check. Like, what's?
This is 2004 Mike Vick. On the video game and before we knew that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
But no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, and I'm kind of like Wilson from Home Improvement, right? Like you can look over, but you can't see my nose down.
No, I can't.
So I could be lathering up at any point. You'll never really know. But yeah, it's a tough one. I was asking Deck. He said he's probably got 8 tubes lying around the house. I know I have a solid 6 right now throughout the house. You got to have it almost wherever you go. And
what is your go-to? Is there a better tube of chapstick? Like, what do you use?
I vary. I think when you get Burt's Bees every once in a while, that's kind of a treat. I don't know about Declan for sure, but yeah, I'm pretty simple.
What do you mean Burt's Bees? Why is it that expensive? Are you on like the Econo line of chapstick or what? Like how expensive? Like what's a tube of chapstick running? How long is it? Like how long does it last?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people will lose it before they run out. I probably say like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm good with just plain old Blistex typically.
Blistex.
Either like the mint or plain flavor.
Wow. I'm learning lots.
Yeah.
John says, Connor, go to It's Sugar and get some flavored chapstick.
I mean, that's like what my niece would use.
Tom, lip friction sounds like a saying for someone who chirps too much. Well, that's the thing. Like, I never even heard of that saying before. Well, yeah, like it reduces the lip friction. I'm like, what? That's like one of the greatest explanations as to why you're addicted to something. Right? That's exactly that proves right there. Well, yeah, it's to reduce lip friction.
It kind of made sense when it was leaving my lips. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it's bad. Like Vinny says, I feel like a crackhead without my chapstick. Like you leave the house and you do the pat down, and when you don't have it, like, where am I gonna get my next hit?
So what do you think? Like, do you check for chapstick more than you check for your phone?
Ooh, it'd be phone first for sure.
Phone first.
Phone. Wallet, keys, chapstick.
Like how many of our listeners right now? I'm just curious here. So we got Declan, we got Connor. That's 66% of our show on 67 that's addicted to chapstick. Like that's a pretty high number.
It's like a PSA.
Like the hell's going on here? We might have to get Sarah McGee, rest in peace. I have to find a new Sarah McGee. Like it'd be a little bit harder to get Cons on that trick though, because he's the guy calling her. So that would be a lot harder to happen. So.
And if you take it even further, Gregor, like the people who've employed and been on the show, like the majority, Strutty makes it 3 out of 4.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, like, did you guys rub off on each other? Like, no, I guess you were Michael Vick. Like, did Declan start here and all of a sudden he said, hey, look at Connor. I want to be the next Connor. I'm going to start using chapstick. Like,
no, he says,
I don't know. Hey, guys, you should get Jason Gregor Show branded chapstick.
Ooh. That's brilliant, actually.
That is not bad. Well, you know what? Considering how many of you are addicted to it, like, God, I got a lot of texts coming in here right now.
This is a good idea. Sports 1440 branded lip chap.
Ranger Nick, I keep chapstick in every one of my jackets. Does it ever go bad?
No.
Yeah, because it's just, what is it made of? Like, honestly, like it's just made of junk, is it not?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
I'm sure you could buy natural stuff that maybe would go bad, but not Blistex.
Hey guys, this is the moment where Jason finds out he's in the minority when it comes to chapstick from Kim in St. Albert. Well, maybe, but I don't know. We got a lot of listeners. So you know what? Just text in if you're team chapstick. That's all you got to do. Just text in the word team chapstick. So that's when I know you are a chapstick user, or you can text in natural lips. Okay. Then I know you're on our side. We're natural. You know, I don't need whatever fluff they're injecting, like the Barry Bonds of lips here in the studio between Connor and Declan. Like, this is just the start of it. Am I going to see you two one day coming in here with those big, collagen lips, right? Just because now you have more area to apply the chapstick?
Oh, that would ruin my chapstick budget, I think. So, not me. Declan, I can't speak for, but I got to go natural in that aspect of things.
Hey guys, my wife's addicted to lip gloss for the same reason. What? To reduce lip friction? Now, see, Chris, that's funny. Yeah. Not there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. So, natural or chapstick? That's all you got to text in. Well, we're going to do an unofficial poll here. I would have thought that it would have been like a significant majority of people who aren't, but I could be very wrong here. So we'll see. Hey, Gregor, what did you say? If they win tomorrow, they don't get a home game in the final for Mighty Cobra. Well, Mighty Cobra, it's a one gamer. We're talking Riverhawks. Yes. So they're in the North, and they had the best record in the North. So they are the home team here. And so just consider that the final is like the Stanley Cup final. Whoever has the most wins, they're the home team. And both teams in the South, Portland and Corvallis, they each have more wins than Edmonton. So if Edmonton wins, they're on the road regardless for the championship game on Thursday. So, yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's no different than the Oilers. The Oilers won the West. They had to start on the road 2 years ago. This year, they won the West and ended up with more wins than Florida in the regular season. Well, more points. Different in hockey than baseball, because obviously there's no OT losses in baseball. Thank goodness. So, hey, guys, chapstick once a week in the winter is all you need. Maybe. I'm like I don't know what it is, but I don't have dry lips. I don't know what causes it, but I think you guys, once you're addicted, now it just sucks. It's like sucking out the moisture of your lips, so now you need it all the time. Because I think once you start, you can't stop. It's kind of what I'm getting. So
I would not disagree with you. Like I'm an addict. I don't know.
Yeah.
I won't speak for Declan, but
no,
yeah,
you guys are totally addict. I don't think there's any debate on that. Right? Like, I wonder how well, because right now we're into an hour and 15 minutes of the show that you haven't used it. But so Cons, you got here today at whatever, 10:30?
Yeah, no, I was on with Kevin at 10:20. So yeah, 10-ish.
So you got here at 10. So have you been chapstickless since 10 o'clock?
Yeah, 5 hours.
Is that
actually, I didn't even put it on this morning. I haven't put it on since last night.
Okay, so you can't be that addicted. But are
no.
You, because you don't put it on every hour then?
No, I didn't wake up and do it.
So you're kind of, but this could be the start. This is where you should start to see how long you could go.
But I don't want to. You know, like when a
but
smoker.
That's not the answer we're looking for. Just do it. Just do it to see how long you could go.
Like,
clearly it couldn't be that long because you don't want to do it.
A smoker has to want to quit.
Yeah.
I don't want to quit.
You don't want to quit.
I can't quit you.
Oh,
chap.
God. So you probably never go even like a full day.
No, never. The fact that I didn't go buy one is the real story here. Like, usually I'd be going down to London Drugs or Dollar Store.
To buy a new one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's shop at the dollar store for your chapstick.
Yeah, it depends what kind they have.
God, we got a lot of people that are texting in. I'm surprised. I got to do a count, but Team Natural's leading, but it's not by much. Holy cow. I don't think it would be a bad thing. Now that, John in St. Albert, we might have to get a Jason Gregor Show chapstick thing. Honestly, there's a lot of you that use it. Clearly, you'd like it. It's something you'd purchase, wouldn't you?
People dropping their brands too. That's it. A lot of Blistex lovers out there.
Hey guys, if you have 6 or more empty Blistex applicators open, then open them up, scoop out the goop with a toothpick, and combine them into one. Now that's a real addict right there. He's giving you tips on how to save at the very bottom of the Blistex applicator. God, I am blown away by this. Hey guys, my dad always told me put a little horse crap on your lips if they were dry. He said it won't help your lips, but it'll keep you from licking them. That is true.
It's accurate.
Because yeah, if you ever put like something disgusting on your lips, you'd probably just stop licking it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Although out of habit, I don't know how many times you'd have to lick it because you just out of habit. But do you lick your lips lots? Do you find maybe you don't even know now that you do it? Maybe we'll have to get a video on how many times Declan and Connor just sit there and you guys are just tonguing your lips. God, that didn't sound right, but you know what I meant. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I definitely am doing that.
Oh, that is unbelievable. So
one day when you're gone, me, Struddy, and Declan should do this show with no lip chap and just see this lip friction everywhere. Won't even they'll speak.
God. Well, we'll find out. I'm gonna ask every one of our guests now, the rest of the show, how many of them are chapstickers. So we'll find out. Milt Steele, something tells me Mitt, he's very in tune. That guy takes care of his body. I'm gonna guess Milt, he's on Team Natural. But I don't want to make a judgment, but I am. So natural or chapstick? Keep them coming. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, natural all the way. These men are therapy bound. The further this goes, the worse Connor and the others are digging their holes. From Scott Hall. You know what? Hey, now, Scott, I'm just curious. Do you use a toothpick? Great Scott Hall reference there.
Yeah.
Did it or not?
Praise Ramon. Hey, no shame in our game, Scott. We're loud and proud.
Hey, guys, I had to shut off the YouTube stream now. I stopped staring at Connor licking his lips. Oh, my God. That is awesome. Caught red-handed.
I'm just going to pop up every little while and just look at the camera, eye contact.
Oh, yeah. Oh, exactly. People will think it's like, just see that joke that they had with the person that they pretend they're blind, that they're sitting at like an outdoor cafe, right? And they had the guy and he's licking his ice cream very seductively, right? And people, they did it with women, and these ladies are all like blinking, and the guy gets up and he puts his glasses on and then he walks away with the stick and is blind, and they're just like, oh my God. Oh, that would be Connor just staring, because someone watching YouTube is like, hey, it's Con's looking at me right there. What's happening? So nice. Well, we'll talk some football and mix in some chapstick talk when we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Just remember, during the break, Texas, natural or chapstick? We want to see what team you're on today.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
What does excellence truly mean, and how does it guide your choices? At Volvo Cars Edmonton, excellence isn't just a goal, it's their standard. They shine in every aspect, from top-tier customer satisfaction in sales and service to impressive inventory, strong customer loyalty, and prices that are tough to match. Experience the dedication to quality firsthand at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada with sports and entertainment properties, including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League's Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk, family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
My mouth can't handle another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Edmonton Elks Country Night is back Friday, August 15th against Toronto. Presented by Coconut Cowboy Row, featuring the EE Bull Riding Competition, country music all night long, plus a petting zoo and pony rides for the kids. Tickets start at just $20 at GoElks.com.
Photographers, start your cameras. It's time for Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest. Enter your hometown snapshot and show us what makes your community amazing. Whether it's a view from the farm, a stroll down Main Street, or a weekend at the rodeo, we're looking for snapshots that show off your rural Alberta hometown. Share your photo before September 2nd for a chance to win cash prizes or a donation to your favorite community group. Learn more via Vision's Facebook page or go to what'syourshare.ca.
Summer yard work is a breeze with Echo in the Lawnmower Hospital. Check out Echo chainsaws and grass trimmers with the Speed Feed Trimmer Head. Echo's Pro Attachment Series makes almost any job possible with 16 versatile attachments, and it's a great time to pick up a backpack blower. Ideal for moving leaves and debris in summer or blowing away snow in the winter. See lawnmowerhosp.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. This is a big deal. Deck's going to put it up on YouTube, find out how many of our YouTube watchers are Chap users or not. I have to say, I'm surprised by this. So early though, but you never want to be surprised by early enough. We need a bigger audience. We need more people responding to say, are you natural or are you Team Chapstick? I'm curious about the results. 833-401-1440. You can vote on our YouTube one or as well on X. They're all there. So we'll calculate it all when the show's over and see where we're at. Meanwhile, let's get to our CFL report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer long. LegacyHeating.ca. Of course, we are joined by CFL Hall of Famer, ace analyst on the CFL on TSN. Milt Stiegel joins us. Milt, do you use chapstick on a regular basis?
I use regular Vaseline. I guess I'm just old school, but I've been using that since I was in middle school. I always keep some nice Vaseline on me. That's what I put on my beautiful lips.
So, like, how often a day are you applying Vaseline?
So I do it in the morning. Every time after I brush my teeth, I put some Vaseline on my lips. So usually like 3 times a day.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're kind of well, if you're doing it daily, then I would say you're like a chapstick user. Now it's Vaseline. So you got with the big rectangular tub of Vaseline, or do you have a little small one?
I have the big rectangular one and I have a small one. So when I need to reload my small one, I just go to the big rectangular one, scoop some out of there and put it in there, baby. That's what I do.
Oh my God. All right. Jeez. A lot of people, more people that use it. So now, you put Vaseline anywhere else or just on your lips?
I'll put it on my body. Like I don't use lotion. I have very oily skin, so in the summertime I don't put anything. I know it's hard to believe because my skin's so flawless. That's another subject. But I'll put it on my body also. I don't else on my face or anything else besides some Ivory soap and some Vaseline. That's
Okay.
it.
Now, did you ever use stickum on your hands when you played?
Never. I remember it was big my first couple of years in NFL, but I never used it. Nope.
Okay. Never used stickum.
Yeah.
Now, as a receiver, and we see these great catches now, but I look at the gloves that some of these guys wear, and I like it's like they almost got Velcro. What do you make of the gloves and how that's impacted some of the catches as a receiver now?
I mean, it definitely helps out. Not trying to take anything away from these receivers. They are making some great catches, but the tactfulness, if I'm using the correct word, on these gloves definitely helps out because with the bare hands, some of these catches these individuals are making, they wouldn't happen without these special gloves. So as I alluded to, I don't want to take anything away from these guys. They practice a lot of these catches, but those gloves definitely help out with some of these catches that are being made.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I want to go back to this week in the CFL, Milt. That was one of the most entertaining 4 games of CFL in 1 week that I can recall in a long time.
And I was trying to think back, when was the last time we had a week like that? And I actually couldn't think back to it. You think about the scoring that was going on there. I think there was an average of 66 points. And the offense, over 2,900 net yards. And this is what people who tune into the CFL, this is what they expect to see. Let's be honest. No one wants to see a low-scoring game. That's not what the CFL is all about. That's not what it's all about. It's all about what happened this past weekend, the games coming down to the last seconds. And I know there are some rules that need to be changed throughout the CFL. We won't get into that. But the last 3 minutes of a CFL game is something special, and we got to see it in basically every single game this past week. So if we could get every game like that, man, we have a bunch of millionaires in this league. It'd be something special.
You mentioned like the final and coming down to it. What did you make of that Calgary game and the ending there?
It was great. Besides my Bombers losing the game, it was great. You know, that's what you want to see. And as I just alluded to, that last 3 minutes gives you an opportunity to win games like that. You know, in other leagues, and I know they say you have the timeouts, but for the most part, you wouldn't have had any timeouts left, and that would have never happened. The game would have been over. So the fact that it had an opportunity to end like that, the Bombers, they say, made some mistakes, allowing the ball to go into the end zone, whatever it may be. Regardless, our last 3 minutes gives opportunities like that to happen, and it's exciting for everyone involved.
Now, you mentioned rule change, Milt. Why? What change would you like to see?
Man, I hate the rules. I hated it since I've been in the league, and I hate it now. It's the worst way to win or lose a game. I've lost a couple of games on it, and I hate it. So there are some other things, but that's the one rule. I also don't like the fact that you can challenge pass interference. I don't like that. You know, mistakes are going to be made. We're dealing with humans. Everything shouldn't be corrected. If that's the case, when a person drops the ball, when a offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator calls the wrong play and gets scored on, or they're not have success, maybe you can call that back too. We're all humans. Refs are humans. I don't think you should have an opportunity to challenge things, especially not pass interference.
Yeah, well, I like the rouge to me, especially on the missed field goal. Like if it's a punt single, I could kind of live with it maybe because a lot of times you're not planning for it. It bounces in the end zone on an 80-yard or whatever. But at bare minimum, rewarding people for a missed field goal, I've never understood it. And I know you talked to lots of people in the league. Why do you think they're so opposed to it, to wanting to get rid of the rouge, even if we just go halfway and get rid of it on missed field goals?
Because I think there are so many of the gatekeepers who are old school. You know, it's tradition. It's the CFL. It's the way it's always been, the way it's going to be. And maybe that's part of the problem why this league is not growing as fast as it could be, because there's some good games. And if we could get some eyes on these games, this league would be in a lot better place than what it's in right now. I'm not saying it's in a bad place, but it could be in a better place than what it is right now. Maybe you just need to get some more forward-thinking individuals making some of the decisions.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I actually spoke to the former commissioner of the CFL, Randy Ambrosi, the other day, and he said the biggest challenge he had was how many people were opposed to wanting to kind of move forward. And, I kind of get the sense that's from, a high end, he's dealing with the owners more than anyone else. And I get a sense right now, like BC, Edmonton, Toronto, some individual owners are like, hey, let's make some changes. And the other ones are kind of dragging their feet through the process. And I think eventually they're going to have to get there, Milton. The problem is they're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah. And I hate to put it this way, but eventually the CFL, the majority of the fans are literally going to die out. You look at the demographics at some of these games in Winnipeg and maybe Saskatchewan, an exception to the rule, but there are a lot of older individuals. I'm thankful that they're there because they allow this league to keep growing, but you got to get some younger individuals' eyes watching these games. So once these older individuals aren't able to do it anymore, you have a nice transition where you have these younger individuals and they step right in and you continue that process. But until then, this league, like I said, it's not in a bad place, but it's not in the place that it could be if some things started changing.
Yeah, well, I'm with you wholeheartedly. I want to go back to the Elks game and, very entertaining finish, but the Elks had 0 rush. Now, I know it's only 6 attempts, but still, you had 0 rushing yards from your running backs. And now against Hamilton, they ran like crazy and Rankin was unreal. And then the week before that, the running game stunk. What do you see about the lack of running game? Is it the play calling or is it the execution from not opening up the holes by the O-line?
Well, let me say this. When you've only won one game and you win a game, you're not concerned with
fair.
how you did it.
Yeah.
You're not concerned. And I know you're on Rankin because they didn't run him, but he did have 90 yards receiving. So if your running back can do that, maybe that's a different way of getting him involved. So there's so many factors that go into that. Maybe the way Montreal has one of the best defenses in the league. The way they were playing, they weren't going to allow him to run him, so they just totally said, okay, we got to abandon this. We got to do what's going to work for us, and maybe that's the short game and getting Rankin involved in the pass game, and it worked for him. So I would have to actually watch the film in totality to make that to determine why they weren't able to run it. But like I said, when you're just trying to win a game, you're trying to just win a game and do whatever you can in your power. Of course, you would like to have a running game because you're going to need it, especially when this weather starts getting bad. So they want to hope they can put themselves in a position to do it. But when you're just trying to win a game, you're really not concerned with how you do it.
And looking at the kind of, we talk about the evolution of play calling as Milt Stiegel joins us. And, Milt, you look at the CFL and I've seen a lot of people talking about how they think the offensive play calling overall. Now, this past weekend is an exception because this past weekend was unreal. And I don't know did you see a difference in how they're calling games that led to such an increase in scoring? Or is it just like a one weekend perfect thing? Or have you seen a trend that will show you, hey, we're getting a little bit more aggressive in our play calling offensive?
Well, let's hope it continues. And I know where you're going because a lot of coaches, a lot of offensive coordinators were very conservative. They didn't want to, I guess, put their quarterback or offense in a position where they're going to have an opportunity to make a big mistake or be in second and long because they're nickel and diamond on first down instead of going for the big plays. When I played, it was all about big plays. It was all about moving the ball down the field. It's so hard to nickel and dime down the field. If you can have an offense that can create those big plays, in my opinion, you have a better opportunity of winning. But I know where you're going because in the past, it was all about being conservative, nickel and dime, and maybe a big play here and there instead of going for the jugular all the time. So let's hope what we saw this past week will continue because that's what the CFL, in my opinion, that's what it was about when I got into this league. That's what it was about when I played. And I don't know when it changed, but it hasn't been that way in a while.
Milt Stiegel joins us. Milt, you look at the Elks and how they won that game and their defense now, that's 3 consecutive games where their defense has played way better. Now, they're still not getting a lot of sacks, but they're limiting their points against for sure. So that's a start. They did get a huge pick 6 from Ty Ford. Give me your thoughts overall on the Elks defense and where you think it's at.
It's getting better. It's getting better, and they invested a lot of money in their defense. Robbie Smith, I'm still waiting for him. I see some flashes, but they need him to get to that quarterback. I mean, he's the highest paid, I think, non-quarterback, and Jake Serezna is playing better, and we saw Trey Ford make a big play. But when you're making that type of money, those things are expected week in and week out. As you mentioned, the defense over the last 3 games, they've gotten better. I think they're holding teams to 10 less points than they were before Cody Fajardo got in there. So they're playing better, but that's what's expected when you have a high-priced defense. So let's hope they can continue it because we need all teams to play well. We don't need some teams winning a bunch of games and other teams not. This team is capable of it, but now they got to do it on a consistent basis. They have a great opportunity to still get in the playoffs, but they just got to start winning some games. So let's hope they can do that.
What's impressed you most about this surprise start by the Calgary Stampeders?
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
It was unfortunate that I couldn't get on the preview show because of what happened, with my son. But in my notes, I had that Vernon Adams would give them an extra at least 4 or 5 victories, at least.
Okay.
Based on what happened last year, and they won 5. Adding Vernon Adams, give them at least, so that's at least 9 or 10 games, at least I said. And on the way they're going, they'll win 13, 14 games maybe. So I'm not surprised at all. Maybe some people are surprised because they basically overhauled their defense, but adding a player like Vernon Adams totally changed your team. So I'm one of those guys who aren't surprised. I don't think Dave Dickinson is surprised. I don't think a lot of people in that organization is surprised. That's why they went out and got Vernon Adams. So what they've been able to do this year is not surprising to me at all because of what type of player Vernon Adams is.
The one thing we've seen many times, Milt, in the CFL is teams have a slow start. They come on strong. Teams have a great start. They slow down. Is there a team that's had a really good start that you're like, I'm leery of them in the second half of the season?
I know a lot of people are saying Saskatchewan Roughriders because we've seen this in other years. You know what? I can say I can see it going the other way. A team that didn't have a great start, maybe finishing strong, I would say the BC Lions. I can see that happen. I don't see the Saskatchewan Roughriders faltering. I don't see that happening right now. I think they're just too strong. As long as Trevor Harris stays healthy, they can do it. But the BC Lions, if Nathan Rourke can get on track, they can win it all. They can win the West. They can win it all. That's the one team I can see totally turning around. They had a great comeback victory this past week in Hamilton. And if he can play consistent football, this team can not only compete against anyone, they can beat everyone, win the West, and win the Grey Cup. So that's the one team I can see totally turning around in a positive manner.
The thing I like about this season right now is there's no dominant team. There's not one team, at least for me, that you would look and say, man, I put all my money on this team right now. Saskatchewan's had good stretches. Calgary's good. Winnipeg is still the team that's been to 5 Grey Cups in a row. I'm not ready to point them out. You mentioned the BC Lions. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are also good. And Montreal, when they get Davis Alexander, I think they're a much better team than what they are with McLeod Bethel Thompson. Is there a team you like most right now?
I agree with you when you say just no clear-cut favorite, which is good when you're only dealing with the league with nine teams. It's perfect. You have to have parity. But you're putting me on the spot. If there's one team, I would say the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ooh. That's the one team. If I had to put everything I had, if I had to liquidate all my earnings and put everything on it, it would be the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And it has nothing to do with the offense. It's the fact that they improved their defense. And I know their defense this past week looked a little shaky, definitely towards the end, but I think they added enough. You added a player like Stubblefield and Amos on the back end, and those guys can ball, and they totally solidified that defense. And if what Bo is doing with that receiving core, which is the best in the league, can score with the best, and if they need to come up with some stops, they can do that because they added some guys on the back end. So right now, that is my clear-cut favorite. Right, not clear-cut, but my favorite if I had to pick one to win the Grey Cup.
Milt, it's always great to talk to you. I didn't want to start with it, but I couldn't let it go. I did want to offer our condolences, of course, on the unexpected passing of your son, Chase. And I hope that you and your family and everybody's doing well. And it's great to see you back in the panel. And what I couldn't imagine as a father of my own, how tough that would be. So our deepest condolences and happy to see that you're back doing what you love.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, all the love and everything. And this right here is part of the therapeutic process. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you very much.
And enjoy your Vaseline application, Milt. We'll talk to you soon.
I don't know how I should take that. I'm going to leave that one alone right there. I'm leaving that one alone.
There you go. That's a Hall of Famer, Milt Stegall. 3-time-a-day Vaseline use. Now, Declan did inform us during the break that he's not a daily chapstick user. So he's not in the Connor Halley level. He just he does get lips chapped, he says every now and then, so he'll use it, but he's not a daily. So he actually does just have really bad chapped lips. So he's kind of like a halfer, I guess, is the way I would use it. Cons, is that fair?
To me, that is denial. That's what that is. I don't have a problem. I can quit when I want. But I saw the look in his eyes when he couldn't find it.
Okay.
He's one of us.
Okay, so he's not ready to admit. It's like a smoker at a party. They go outside, they have a smoke at a party, and then they have like 3 more. No, I'm not a smoker. And then the next night, you're over at Dave's house, and Connor walk. Hey, you got it. Hey, man, like they never buy the smokes, but they always smoke. Now, Declan does buy his own chapstick though. Because you guys don't share chapstick, do you?
No, well, do you know how desperate you have to be to ask someone to borrow their chapstick?
No, I don't.
Well,
But
pretty desperate.
I would think so.
That's not a casual thing someone does. That's an addict.
Yeah, that's true, right? Like if you're asking to borrow someone's chapstick, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
That's first step, admit it.
Yeah.
And live with it.
Yeah.
That other things would be stop, but this one you can live with.
Oh man, that is awesome. So there you go. I like. I will have to say, and anybody who's listening to the show, I'm a big proponent of the CFL, but that doesn't mean you can't change things. I would be all in favor of getting rid of the rouge at bare minimum on missed field goals. If you want to keep it for single punts, I can live with it. I can compromise. But I've always disliked, because I remember my son's like, "What do you mean they get a point, Dad? They missed the field goal." And I'm like, you're right. It makes no sense. It could have made sense many years ago. So get rid of it. I don't think your league, and you can't tell me anybody who's a fan of the CFL who would say, you know what? I'm not going to watch because they got rid of the rouge on missed field goals. Would anybody say that? So what's the benefit of it? Honestly, what's the benefit of it for your league in 2025? You cannot tell me this can't be addressed very simply in the offseason and be like, guys, we're moving forward now. Show your fan base, because there's not many people who text into our show and are like, oh man, I love the rouge. No, I don't think anybody does. Like you might like saying the name of it, and you might say, oh, it's classic Canadian. Yeah, but is it make your league better? Does it make it better? Yes or no? I don't think it does. So in a very competitive market, on a league right now that is it's got a little bit of an identity crisis, why wouldn't you look at everything and say, is this going to make the quality of our play less? I would argue people would look at it as the detractors would look at it as more as a positive, and your diehard fans are still going to love the game. Just because, right? I don't think it makes the CFL better. Yeah, it makes it unique, and that might be worth something from Country Kurt. Well, I don't see. Here's the thing. To me, the CFL success isn't going to be like, oh yeah, there's a missed point and a field goal. I really don't think so. I don't think it's going to change your success. All it does is give more credence to people who want to say, I don't like the league. It's second tier, whatever. Because the unique factor, I don't think that matters. And I'm a fan of the CFL. I love the CFL game. I would put the CFL up for entertainment, and I think there's more entertaining CFL games than there is on par entertaining NFL games. And there's fewer games each week. But I'm talking, you got 16 games in a week in the NFL. Are half of them entertaining? You got a lot of dogs. The problem is you can have 4 or 5 good games, and so that masks all the crap games. In the CFL, you only have 4 games. So if you have 2 duds, well, now that's 50%. So it's harder. But I'm sorry. I don't like the rouge. I would get rid of it right away. And if it does increase even the slight chance of guys returning it more, rock and roll. Now, they probably wouldn't, but I'd still do it. I don't, the rouge to me, it's done. It's done. Quick break. We'll return. We got Cam Tatum more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy for comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
It's the Bricks Great Canadian Staycation Sale. Score hot summer savings like up to 20% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Save 60% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Plus, save up to 20% off dining and bedroom furniture. Get up to $400 off big screen TVs and buy more, save more. Up to $1,000 off select major appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
How's your summer so far? Are you zipping around in your new truck from Wolf GMC Buick? If not, you should be. GMC employee pricing continues through August on our entire 2025 GMC Sierras, including the Sierra HD lineup. But just August. Who knows what September brings? Costco members save an additional $1,200 on our 2025 Buick lineup and all our new GMC Terrain. We're here for a good time, not forever. Buy the new reliable vehicle and treat yourself. Employee pricing, 0% financing at Wolf GMC Buick.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
McDonald's summer drink days are here. Get a $2 small fruit splash beverage or a small frappe or smoothie for just $3 each. Summer's booming with McDonald's Summer Drink Days. Excludes additional flavor shots and toppings at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$3:49. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Lots of thoughts on the Rouge. Yeah, or nay. Some of you like it. Guys, I like the Rouge and we keep it with this change. If a ball lands in play and can be turned, the single applies. If a team wants to buy the real estate to better field position, the cost is 1 point. That's from Doug. Doug McLean, that is. So thanks for listening, Doug. Yeah, to me, I'm like, I don't know if we need the point. Because if you look at like a guy he misses a field goal, it goes through the end zone. So you missed a 35-yarder wide through the end zone, you still get a point? No, I don't like it. Right? Can't return it. And if to me, I would look at it this way. If you miss the field goal, because now if you miss a field goal and you get tackled, you give up a point because you're in the end zone, whatever. But if you don't, and the returning team is trying to return it, that's leading to more plays because there's nothing more. I'll tell you what's more exciting than the Rouge, a touchdown return attempt. Guys running 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. He's going all the way. People go crazy. It's awesome. So I think a lot of people like the Rouge because it's history and it's part of the game, but lots of things change. And I look at the CFL, and I love the CFL. But you would have to be the most naive CFL fan if you think the CFL doesn't need a little help in marketing. Right? It's an older fan base. That's just the truth. So, and I'm not taking away the Rouge isn't going to solve all your problems. No debate on that. But it's all small little increments. And I think it would be an easy one. It would take away the low-hanging fruit from the detractors. It would. Because if you want to talk about the play on the field, I just go back to this weekend and say, hey, let's talk about the play on the field. It was phenomenal. Even the most ardent anti-CFL fan, like they might find some lame excuse, but I'm like, you go watch all 4 of those games. They're tight games. It came down to the wire, and there was big execution to win games. Dude, there wasn't rashes of penalties over and over again. There's lots of big plays. And there was some good defense mixed in. It wasn't like, the Elks and Montreal's defense were getting lit up and down the field, right? There were some games offensively, Ottawa, Toronto, BC, and Hamilton. Yeah. Hey, defenses they weren't as good as the offense. And that's okay, because I've said it all along. In the regular season, offense sells. It just does. I would even argue in the playoffs. I know people like to say defense wins championships. Well, there's lots of statistics that would say that's not always true. So, but for me, I think the time for the Rouge, I'm all for it. I think it's time for a change. And I don't think it's a change that if next season started and there was no Rouge, I don't think people would miss it nearly as much as you would for the nostalgia factor than anything else. So, let's get to Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. AC conks out. You're sweating. You need it fixed. Call Legacy. No OT. I'll tell you about the Legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam was born with cerebral palsy, being in a wheelchair. Due to his disability, he's never been able to be on the radio live until now. Through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
Sometimes you look at a fella's life and you start to see a pattern, a kind of rhythm to the way things shake out. And when it comes to Dr. Randy Gregg, well, let me tell you, that rhythm's got a beat all its own. Back in the day, Randy Gregg wasn't just a doctor. He was a hockey player, a big part of that legendary Oilers Blue Line bunch. He joined up a little late in the 82 season, the Oilers' 3rd season in the Big Show. And the story goes, Peter Pocklington and Glenn Sather had a little master plan cooking, a 5-year plan to be exact. 5 years to go from the new kids on the block to Stanley Cup champs. And wouldn't you know it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, mission accomplished. 1984, they toppled the New York Islanders, and Greg, our very own Doc, was right there hoisting that silver mug. Now, hold on tight to your DeLorean. We're going to punch it to 2020. That's when Randy and 30 other community investors bought themselves a baseball team, the Edmonton Riverhawks. Now, let me get out my trusty abacus here. 2020 to 2025. Hang on a second. That's 5 years. See, he's doing it again. The man's got a thing for a 5-year plan, like a cat's got a thing for a laser pointer. It's an obsession. Now, remember, Greg joined the Oilers in their 3rd season. And because of that darn old COVID, the Riverhawks didn't get to start flying until 2022. That, my friends, was their 3rd season. I'm telling you, it's a cosmic prank. The universe is just lining up Randy's life in neat little 5-year boxes, and we're all just along for the ride. Well, tomorrow night, the Riverhawks face off against the Bellingham Bells in the 2nd round of the West Coast League North Division Championship. You win that one, and the entire league championship is within your grasp. It's starting to look a lot like a 5-year plan all over again. And you know what? It couldn't happen to a better man than Randy Gregg. Exactly what the doctor ordered. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Halley, Tate, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sports 1440.
Yeah, good for Randy and all the owners of the Riverhawks. They built a really great, successful minor baseball operation. And the fans have bought in. It's fantastic. The team is competitive. I love that they went out this year. You know what? They know how to recruit. And trust me, Edmonton, successful team. It's a great place to play. All the young players, they all see it. They look at the crowd, and you've heard it from Jake Lamford. Heck, we've heard it from opposing players. It's more exciting when you play in front of a crowd. That's just a fact. Right? Anybody who's ever played sports, it's bigger when the crowd is louder and you feel that and you hear it. You get amped up. I don't care. You play in your basketball gym in school, and all of a sudden you got 200 people in the gym instead of 20. It's a big difference, right? There's just more energy, and it makes it great. So that's awesome for the Riverhawks, and opportunity for you. This is going to be the last home game of the of the season for the Riverhawks, because if they win tomorrow in the North Final, they'll be on the road for Thursday's final against either one of the South teams, because they both had more wins. So just so you know, this is your last chance to see the Riverhawks live tomorrow night. So good luck if you get tickets, and good luck to the Riverhawks. Should be a heck of a game. We got a lot of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, the only thing with the Rouge is if it wasn't there, there'd be no one running the ball out of the end zone. Lots of touchbacks from Elks Oil. Fair point. So here's what I would do. I would make 2 rule changes. I get rid of the Rouge on missed field goals. And if you take a knee in the end zone on the missed field goal, you only start at your 20-yard line. Don't get out to the 35. You start at the 20, because I want to encourage plays. So I'm not rewarding failure, but I'm also not going to reward being passive and just taking a knee, and now you get the ball at the 35-yard line. So 2 things at play here. Teams are going to continue to attempt long field goals instead of just punting. Why not attempt a long field goal? Heck, what do we see? A 63-yarder on the weekend? What are we seeing in the NFL? A 70-yard field goal. Now, it doesn't count in the rule books because it's not an official game, because it's preseason. But the athletes today, man, they're stronger legs than ever before. They know how to train better. They got more range of motion. They got more flexibility, all that stuff. And so you're seeing it. That's an unreal kick. So I do 2 things, because there's always a consequence if you're going to change a rule. So that's why I'm saying, hey, if you can start, you might want to eliminate the Rouge completely. Sure. I would do it on field goals. If you have an 80-yard punt and it bounces through the end zone, whatever, I'll live with it. That can keep the unique factor there for some people who like it. It's fine. But I get rid of it on field goals, because you're attempting on the field goal. Most people, when they're punting it, they're not trying to punt for the single point. It's very rare. And if they do, then they're close enough. They're just going to boom it through the end zone. Right? Most of those other punts are you're trying to get it out of bounds at the 5 or the 10, right? Keep them deep. That single point really isn't a major influence for you to want to go for it. So if you want to keep it in for the people who like unique, there's your unique point. It's very rare. Happen every now and then. It's more on missed field goals. And so to encourage teams that still want to run it out of the end zone to make more exciting plays, I'm having the ball placed on the 20-yard line if you take a knee on a missed field goal. That's what I would do. So, because if you do run it out of the end zone, all you got to do is get to the 1, because then you can get the ball at the line of scrimmage, right? That's where they used to have it on. You miss the field goal, the other team gets the ball there. But you got to run it out of the end zone to get it there. So I could do that. Now you're encouraging teams to want to hoof it, right? On the missed field goal, if you run it out, you can scrimmage at the line of scrimmage. At the previous line of scrimmage. That's what I would do. And why not? So, and if you take the knee, you're only getting it at the 20, not at the 35. But if you run it out, at bare minimum, you'll get at the line of scrimmage. I would love it, because now that's going to encourage plays. Cons, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have no allegiance to the Rouge either, Gregor. Like, it's a rule that's kind of funny sometimes, and I wish more teams in games that are tied, I wish they just punt it through the end zone and just take advantage of that full reason. There was like a hesitancy to do so for a long time. But no, I mean, I would be okay with the change, and you might upset some people, but how big of a football fan are you? You really love the CFL. Is it because of the Rouge? I mean, I think if you were someone who raises a big stink about it, you're probably just trying to be difficult. It can't be that crucial to you to loving the CFL game. I love the waggle, having guys in motion. I love the chance that the game's never really over, because you can see possession can go back and forth, 10 times in 3 minutes. The Rouge is not something that I'm tied to the game by. It's like when the NFL moved the extra point back a few yards. Didn't upset me. Cool. Let's make it a little bit different. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, popularity in the league is not growing. Let's try to make some changes that could potentially help. And I think that'd be a little one that people could probably get on board with at some point here.
Yeah. So to me, I think the CFL has to look at lots of things and having the conversation about it. Like people are like, oh, first the Eskimos, now the Rouge, I'm out. Tiger. Okay, Tiger. Well, then you're out. And if you're so stubborn that you don't want change, that's okay. We've seen lots of leagues make change. Look at the NFL. Heck, look at Major League Baseball. A league that was so staunch in tradition. They didn't change anything. They got rid of pitchers hitting full-time in the National League. They changed the base paths, right? They finally said, okay, we're going to counter the defensive switch a little bit. They made some significant changes to their game. Why? Because they wanted to, and they sped up the game. They put in a pitch clock. Like, think about the major changes baseball's made. Those are significant. And you got people saying, if you take away the Rouge, I won't watch. Stop. You're not watching because of the Rouge, okay? And threatening to not watch, okay, don't watch then. But I don't believe you're that big of a fan if you're like, well, you take away the Rouge, I'm not going to watch. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look at the major changes that baseball's made. Look at the major changes that they've made in football and the NFL. Lots of guys didn't like it, and I can understand, especially if you're a defensive-minded player or a defensive-minded fan, but you still watch. So don't tell me that, oh, they're going to change one rule, I'm automatically out. Like, that's my line in the sand. I don't think it's like, if there was a moral thing, I could live with that. But a line in the sand on the Rouge, I can't get behind it. I just can't. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by 01 Hockeyology. You can build your game this summer. Get ready for training camp. Sign up. You have Hockey IQ camps going on in August. You have camps specific to get your son or daughter ready for the upcoming season. Shooting drills, skill drills. You have it all. Sign up 01.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Lincoln Gretzky Cup underway in Czechia. Canada kicked off the tourney with a 5-3 win over Finland this morning. They'll be back in action tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m., taking on the Swiss. Elsewhere, Sweden crushing Germany 10-0. Host Czechs over the Swiss 6-2, and the U.S. doubled up Slovakia 6-3. The Minnesota Wild announced that the team has signed defenseman Jack Johnson to a PTO. Johnson, 38, played in 41 games with the Blue Jackets last year, recording 6 helpers. 12 games in the majors today. Jays off before taking on the Cubbies tomorrow. You got the Phillies up against the Reds. Yankees host the Twins. Pirates take on the Brewers. Rangers and Diamondbacks. Red Sox in Houston. Angels host the Dodgers. Padres taking on the Giants. And the Athletics hosting the Rays. One game in the WNBA tonight as the Sun taking on the Valkyries. Tip off at 8 p.m. And some good news potentially for the Eagles, as reports say Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson avoided a major injury. The plan is for him to undergo a meniscus surgery that will put him in line to play early in the 2025 season, potentially even week 1 on September 4th against the Dallas Cowboys. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by Arizona Cardinals beat reporter Tyler Drake. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray radio station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your
Oilers
favorite
Nation,
pizza
YouTube,
in the new
Facebook,
cheddar
X,
crust pizza
and,
for only
Instagram.
$17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese
To
right on
Facebook,
top
X,
of their fresh
and-
original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99.
Welcome
You better
back.
hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
What does excellence truly mean, and how does it guide your choices? At Volvo Cars Edmonton, excellence isn't just a goal, it's their standard. They shine in every aspect, from top-tier customer satisfaction in sales and service to impressive inventory, strong customer loyalty, and prices that are tough to match. Experience the dedication to quality firsthand at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Edmonton Elks Country Night is back Friday, August 15th against Toronto. Presented by Coconut Cowboy Rug, featuring the EE Bull Riding Competition, country music all night long, plus a petting zoo and pony rides for the kids. Tickets start at just $20 at GoElks.com.
McDonald's summer drink days are here. Get a $2 small fruit splash beverage or a small frappe or smoothie for just $3 each. Summer's booming with McDonald's Summer Drink Days. Excludes additional flavor shots and toppings at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
New Jizz Nuggets. This is New Jizz Nuggets, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. What nugget of cooling advice does Nuge have today?
An air conditioner works by blowing air across the cold evaporator coil where the heat is absorbed into the refrigerant. I actually don't know what that means. Kind of like Zach Hyman with goaltender interference. Sorry, Zach.
Well, you got me there.
Get no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling. Proud sponsor of New Jizz Nuggets.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at Cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Monday. Oh, God. We got our chapstick update. So Kruger and Halley have both forgotten their chapstick today, and it's led to desperation. There was a bottle of aloe vera that was it just showed up. I don't even know where it came from. It's brand new. It looks all nice. The green aloe vera. And Cons, why don't you pick up that bottle? And Declan Kruger just put some on his lips. And he's nodding that it's good. Cons, have you reached the point that you might try the aloe vera? Because you put aloe vera on a burn.
Yeah, you do.
It also says, if ingested, call the boys. So if your skin's ingesting, it can't be that bad.
No, I mean,
it's just different skin.
For a sunburn, 100%. But, I mean, it looks tasty, but no, I'm not putting it on my lips.
You're not going to try it?
If you want, this mic will slide over to Declan if you want to get his thoughts on how he's feeling, but no, I'm not going to try it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just go with the licking technique. Drinking more water.
So you're just gonna go with like that. What? Remember, like you'd always have the one kid in your class who licked their lips too much, and then they had that ring around their mouth.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what you're gonna look like at the end of the show.
It's a risk. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Because somebody out there was that kid too.
Oh yeah.
Right. You might have been there once, and you're like, but there was always a kid, and I'm not gonna throw anybody on the bus, even though it's many years ago, but that they were like the constant liquor, and just like they had like that chapped God, and I'm like, God, that must be painful. Like, there's no way it was good. You just keep licking your own saliva onto it.
Not to throw out one of my nieces or nephews, perhaps, but I once saw them maybe have some of the most chapped lips from that, like to the point where I said, you got to use this. Like, I thought about calling child services. Like, the lips were so chapped, and that was wise. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not at that point yet. We had a nurse named Anna that said, just drink more water. So, and a few people texted that in. So I'm going to go for their strategy today. And, you know, I got that water bottle for a reason, but not the aloe, not yet.
Wow. So, aloe vera.
Declan's lips are looking good though. I think.
Yeah. Well, he's not sure.
I'll slide the review over here.
What's your thoughts, Deck?
Well, it started off pretty hot and heavy. Felt pretty good there. Lips were feeling cooled out. It has since subsided, and it's only been like 4 minutes. So so far it's got like 3/4 of a thumb down.
So it was kind of like, it was like, I've never taken drugs. So but I don't know. It was like that initial high that you get, like, oh, it tastes so good when it hits your lips. But now suddenly it's like it's worn off.
See, I'm not a big drug guy either, thankfully. It's maybe more a little bit like when you have the first bite of like a 2,000 calorie donut, you're like, whoa, this is pretty good. But then you get to bite 3, 4, and 5, and you're like, what are we really doing here?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at.
So, but are you going to apply? Maybe you just need to apply it again. Like maybe your lips are so dry that it just sucked it right up. Maybe you got to have a second application.
There's something to be said for that. I'm thinking it's probably just a failure. I tried, I failed, it happens, and chapstick at home. That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Aloe vera. So far, 5 minutes in, thumbs down for curing. Thumbs down. So like at 833-401 1440, 833-401-1440. So I was like, hey guys, saliva has digestive enzymes that chap lips from Kurt. Well, Kurt, I can't even counter that because I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds good. So in theory, I could see why, because most people know the kid, or maybe it was you, who had lip ring. Right? It's kind of what it looked like. Lip ring. I get it.
Google says it is true, Gregor.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Saliva has a digestive enzyme that chaps lips. Yeah, like I always try to tell your kid, like, don't lick your lips. That's going to make it worse. Clearly, it's true. So, hey, guys, I think they should keep the Rouge, but get rid of the last few minutes of a game and on field goals. It has to hit 5 or 10 yards before the back is missed on a 30-yarder. It doesn't get a point. Tyler, you got too many rules in there, Tyler. It can't be, well, this and this. And so it's a sticking penalty until, no. It's either a Rouge on a missed field goal or it isn't. You can't have, to me, it's more gimmicky if we're going to have it on certain, like, why do you need it on a 50-yard field goal? Because first of all, on a 50-yard field goal, who's not running it out of the end zone? Why wouldn't you? You got offensive linemen. It's not a punt, right? It's offensive linemen. So I don't think having it, just get rid of it. It's a small little change. I honestly believe we could get rid of the Rouge. You want to get rid of it all totally? I'm fine. Even if you just got rid of it on missed field goals, I don't believe you wouldn't even notice it next season. You wouldn't. But also come in with if you take the knee, you scrimmage on the 20, because that's going to encourage teams to run out of the end zone, as you should anyway, because you got 5 offensive linemen on the field. Why wouldn't you run it out? Now, I know offensive linemen are pretty agile nowadays, but still, they're not as agile as a kick return. If I'm Javon Leake and I got 5 offensive linemen, or I'm on a punt return and I got 5 linebacker / D linemen, I'll take my chances against the old linemen all day. All day I would do it. So they should. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the opportunity, whether you like casino, lottery, instant, sports, live dealer, they got it all. And remember, use your game sense. Go to GameSenseAB.ca at PlayAlberta.ca. We got the oil report coming up in a bit. We got 5 questions. We're going to go continue on in our NFL. We got Spec. Mike Wilner's going to be by. Jays coming up. Great game yesterday, but their week does not get easier. It's a day off today. And then the Jays have the Chicago Cubs coming to town. Of course, the Jays have the best record in the American League. They also have the best record in the major leagues of baseball. And the second best record in the majors, because the Milwaukee Brewers have 73 wins, of course. But the Cubbies, who are pretty damn good, they come in. They would be what? 1 game back of the Jays. They got the same amount of losses, but Chicago has played 2 fewer games. They have 2 fewer wins. So this will be another good test for the Blue Jays, as they're a playoff team, barring some like miraculous collapse here. It's just a matter of, are they going to finish first in the American League, second in the American League, third? They end up in a wild card spot. We'll see. They're currently up on the Red Sox by 4 games, 6.5 now up on the Yankees. Like, the Yankees are brutal. Sarah Lang put out the stat. The Yankees have like the worst record in the American League over the last 35 or 40 games. So I got to find exactly what it was, but I was blown away by just how bad the Yankees are being. And that's awesome, by the way. Like, I am not a Yankees fan, but it's unreal, the run that they've been on here for quite a stretch. It's not just a 2-week dung. Like, they've been brutal for over a month now. Worst record in the AL. I love it. Hey guys, do you have a vitamin E capsule? Pierce One extrude the oil. It makes an excellent lip balm, from Phil. Well, Phil, I don't think they're just like, if they forgot their lip balm, I don't think they're going to be carrying E capsules around. But you are true. The E capsule one works fantastic. That is a great tip for anybody if you want to use it. It works.
And this aloe vera does have vitamin E in it.
Oh.
So I scoffed at Declan at first, but he might have actually been onto something.
So now you're thinking about trying it, aren't you? Oh, the desperation is starting to kick in, because you're just looking at it, and eventually Connor's going to be like, "Well, I'm going to try it." I think you'll try it before the end of the show.
I'll take that bet.
No. Well, it's easy not to do it just out of a bet, but I think you'll do it. Hey guys, Blistex Lip Medics is the only way to go. The rest is all decorative. Hey guys, don't you work at a mall that has stores that sells chapstick? Go get some from Curtis. Well, Curtis, they're right, we do. But is there enough time during a commercial break for them to sprint to get it and be back in time? It would be a great contest to see if they could do it. Now, in the old studio, where you could just bolt out the door and be right in the mall, I think you might have been able to make it. But where we're at now, in our studio, you got to go through the maze a little bit. Then you got to go out the back door, then come in the hallway of the main mall. I'm not sure there's time. I'm trying to think which store would be close enough to have lip balm. I don't think Cons has time to sprint during the break.
London Drugs would be the one, and I don't think I'd make it.
No, I don't think you'd go there and back, because you get there and what if there's a line?
Exactly.
So and you would have to know exactly where the lip balm is situated. Right? I have no idea. I don't buy lip balm, so I have no idea. I'd go in, I'd be searching up and down every aisle. Like Cons, you're an addict, so you know exactly where it is at every store when you go in.
Yeah. I might not have time to pay for it. Then I'm a full-on addict because I'm stealing it.
Have you ever stole chapstick?
No.
Oh, okay. I just thought we were onto something here. Might have a little bit of a
No.
This is when I knew I hit rock bottom in my chapstick days. Is when I dipped into my pocket and I only had a loonie, and I decided it was the risk of getting, because really a chapstick isn't going to stand out, right? It's not very big.
No,
probably slide in your pocket. Not that we're encouraging that. Like, don't become thieves of the chapstick. But I'm sure someone out there has had the 5-finger discount on a chapstick at some point. I would have to think it's happened. So we'll see. All I know is right now we're like Milt Stiegel 3 times a day, Vaseline, not chapstick. Interesting. So we'll find out from our next guest of the day. And I've got a few different polls going. The text line poll Now, this is unofficial because I might have missed one. I got to count it again. But if my math is correct, we're running around a 61% natural, which is 39% users of chapstick, which is higher than I thought it would be, to be honest. That's on the text line. On X, looking at the, and we've got so far an X over, I don't know, 600 votes in the last 20 minutes. It's 71.9% natural, no chappy. So I don't know what Deck has it. What do you have it on the YouTube?
64%
that are no chappy.
No chap.
No chappy. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, I guess we are the minority.
Yeah, well, you couldn't be surprised by that.
No, not.
But there's still more uses of it than we thought.
Yeah.
And we might get on the sports 1440 chapstick train. But like, could we make our own? Because that's what we'd want, right? Like you wouldn't want to design your own cons, like your own flavor.
Oh yeah.
You'd want you want it to reduce, as Connor says, his lip friction. So, right, that's what you'd want.
We need a commemorative aloe vera flavor. Maybe.
Yeah, we got to have somebody out there who's a scientist listener who can help us design what we like what maybe we could. Are we putting in like bone tallow in there? Is that what we're doing?
Is that healthy?
Oh yeah.
Then yeah.
Talow's the best, buddy. It's unbelievable. That's what you want. So, sure. Maybe I'm not sure what other ingredients would go in there, but if you could get a Big Turk flavored one, probably a bestseller, no question. So, there's some options. Definitely some options. We'll come back. We'll continue on our NFL preview next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical Team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
McDonald's summer drink days are here. Get a $2 small fruit splash beverage or a small frappe or smoothie for just $3 each. Summer's booming with McDonald's Summer Drink Days. Excludes additional flavor shots and toppings at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
It's the Bricks Great Canadian Staycation Sale. Score hot summer savings like up to 20% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Save 60% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Plus, save up to 20% off dining and bedroom furniture. Get up to $400 off big screen TVs and buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off select major appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$425. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having an awesome Monday afternoon. Lots of text line in, 833-401-1440. Many of you still coming in with the natural or chapstick. Which team are you on? There's a lot of you out there. Update, Declan Kruger. I think he might be going in for a second application of the aloe vera. It's looking like that's possible here. We'll see how it goes. But when you're desperate, you got to do whatever it takes. So he forgot his chapstick, can't find any, and his lips of that chap that he's now put aloe vera on his lips. Try to get him through the rest of the show. Awesome. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Female Super League, which is designed to elevate female youth hockey players with the 12U, 14U, and now a new 16U division. PWHL is expanding, so is the Female Super League.com. As we continue our NFL previews today, we stop in Arizona from Arizona Sports. A beat reporter for the Cardinals, Tyler Drake, joins us. Tyler, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good. Now, before we get to stuff, we got the most important question. Are you a regular chapstick user or natural?
No, all natural, man. All natural down here.
Okay, team natural. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds rough with the aloe vera for the to try to get by. That sounds rough. You really only hear about that for sunburn. So if you got that chapped a lip, I'm really sorry about that.
Oh yeah. But you know what? Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. You just seen if we can get them through to the end of the show in an hour and a half. So got about 2 hours to go to get home to get some chapstick, or at least stop and buy some on the way. I do want to touch on an interesting thing for me when I look at this upcoming season is Marvin Harrison, and obviously he's going to be a big guy, but do you think he's going to have fewer snaps where he's pinned to the sidelines? Are we going to see him used differently in the offense this year?
Yeah, I do think you're going to see him used a lot more. They have been running in some or tossing in some more pre-snap motions, getting him at some different spots. He has been playing in the slot a little bit more too. So I think he's definitely going to be moving more this year. One of the big reasons too is he's a lot more relaxed. He's a lot more comfortable. His confidence is higher. So I think it was just that natural progression of just trying to get him in more ideal situations, maybe some more mismatches. So yeah, I would definitely look at him moving, not just sitting in one spot like he did for a lot of last year.
So a lot of that's maybe just comfort level and understanding the reads. And when you talk to him or the coaches or even the quarterback, how much of it is comfort level, or how much is like, this guy's a weapon, we got to use him more?
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely getting him in better situations. But I think it was also, you can't just throw him out there when everything's going so fast for him. Everything had to slow down. And I think you're now seeing that his confidence is there. I mean, he's bulked up a lot, but he still looks really explosive, really fast. And you can tell that, he's not thinking as much out there. So yeah, they got to get him worked in more so that he can hit that 1,000-yard mark that I think a lot of people out here expected him to hit. The 8 touchdowns, that's really great. I think if you can do that again, maybe add a couple more, that's exactly where you want it. But yeah, getting him in more ideal situations. But I think it's a little bit of a marriage between him being ready to take on that next step of that workload, plus, yes, just get him in better spots, because this team has enough firepower to where if it's not him, it's Trey, if it's and so on and so on. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that they can get him involved now.
Is Trey McBride the obvious number 2 when it comes to, passes coming his way this year, or is there anybody else in the receiving core like a Jones or a Wilson that could potentially push for that, or is it pretty obvious that it's McBride?
Yeah, I mean, Trey McBride, I think you should probably have him as maybe still the number 1 guy to get the targets, just because of how much Kyler loves playing football with him. And he's very much a security blanket, the safety valve, whatever you want to call him. And he can do a lot. So yeah, I mean, last year's numbers, don't be surprised if that's a similar thing with, Marvin coming up. If they can do that, this team should be in a lot better place offensively. But I mean, when it comes to Trey McBride's usage, don't expect a lot of a drop off, in my opinion, because he's one of those guys that they just have to continue to feed, and maybe he'll score a couple more touchdowns this time around and not have to do it on a rushing touchdown or a fumble recovery. He can actually score more than 2 through the air.
Discussing the Arizona Cardinals with Tyler Drake here on the Jason Gregor Show. Tyler, it's Connor here. Just looking at Kyler Murray and what he's been able to do in his career. We've seen the really good and then sometimes not quite as good. He's going into year 3 with OC Drew Petzing. What have you seen from him so far in training camp?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's a lot more dialed in. There's still, some stuff you got to clean up. That preseason game, the interception he had on the opening drive, I mean, that was his one blemish on the night. He had one incompletion, but it was a pretty bad one. So you've got to clean stuff up, but you can tell he's a little more, it seems, versed in what they want to get done and what this scheme wants to accomplish under Petzing. So I'm looking for him to take a step, and I think everybody else is, because, he's only got one playoff appearance. It was a rough one at that. This is year 7, and when you're a franchise quarterback, you've got to deliver. So, consistency is going to be key for him, because he can put things together really well the first half of years, but then when the second half of the season rolls around, that's when he tends to drop off. It's not just him. It's been the team too over the last couple of years, but he's really got to stay on the gas if they want to have a chance to really, get past that 500-ish record and get into the postseason and avoid maybe some very tough decisions in the offseason if they can't.
Now, when it comes to the company in the backfield, we saw James Conner get a bulk of the carries last season, but they did draft Trey Benson in the 3rd round, I believe. Do you think there might be a plan to get Benson a little bit more involved this season?
Yeah, definitely. And everybody's talking about how much more this guy's going to play. But I do want to say it might not be necessarily touches. It could just be more in pass pro. It could be more of that, the blocking side of things. But they do like what he's doing. They want to see him get the ball more. So I would expect more. But James Conner's still your guy. He's still going to be your workhorse for this team. They love what he brings to the table. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but the confidence in him is very much there, and he's coming off back-to-back career years with 1,000 yards. He's playing some of his best football, so they're going to continue to feed him the rock, but also be wary of how much tread is on his tires, and if they can take some of that off and give it to Trey to pick up, they're definitely going to do that. We've already seen that in training camp with Trey Benson getting a lot of the first team carries. I think that's a way of not putting too much on Connor when they don't need to, and saw that in preseason game. He came in with the first team after Connor went out, so I think there's going to be ways that they're going to spell him a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be Connor's backfield. So, maybe like a 70-30, 65-35 split there. But, Trey Benson also has that home run ability. So I know that they like what he's doing. It's just, can you take away James Conner from that run first heavy backfield where they love having that bruiser type running back go through people?
Looking at the defensive side of the football, I know there's been a little bit of an emphasis on improving the defensive line. You drafted Darius Robinson last season. Calais Campbell returns. But I want to ask you about Walter Nolan, the team's first-round pick this year. I think there were some injury concerns. Has he been able to get practice? And if not, is there a timeline for when he could return?
He has not practiced yet. He's on the PUP list. He went through, got through OTAs, got the rookie mini camp. But for training camp, he's been on the PUP. And honestly, it's a calf injury. And you mentioned the name Darius Robinson. Last year, he went through the same thing, had a calf injury late, right before the regular season happened. And he only played 6 games. He also went through the passing of his mother, which is a completely different side of that too. So just on the calf injury, I think they're going to be really cautious with him. I've heard that it could go up in 2 weeks, like right up until the regular season. I've also heard that it could go into the regular season. So I think looking for me, I would put it as, hey, you start him on the IR, give him some time, because there's the depth on this D-line that they haven't had in years. So they don't necessarily need him right now. And if they can give him a couple more weeks to really shore things up and then have him be a second half of the season impact player, that might do a lot of good things for this defense moving forward, especially if some injuries hit the guys up front like Calais or Dalvin or Darius. So definitely looking at I'm going to go more in season when he returns, just because we haven't seen him at all yet. And I don't think they're going to want to ramp him up too fast with that calf injury.
Looking at the, you mentioned, the defense, and they also got Will Johnson, I think, is their second pick out of Michigan in the secondary. How's he looked?
He's looking good. He's looking like everything I've heard from people in Michigan and just who covered him. Like, this guy could be the real deal. He's stayed healthy, and I think that's been the biggest question mark surrounding him. So everything looks good. The trajectory that I think a lot of people had for him is kind of a shoot up the depth chart. That's only been accelerated because they lost Starling Thomas V to a torn ACL in training camp. So right now it's Will Johnson, Max Melton, and Garrett Williams as your three corners, and that's a really youthful group. But compared to what it's been in past years, that's a really strong group to roll out there in nickel package. And, Garrett can also play base, but they love him in nickel. So if Will Johnson can really continue to take the right steps, he's going to be an every game starter. And he has the potential to really help this team in the takeaways department, which they've really struggled in the last couple of years. So if they can really turn that around, and he's a ball hawk. You can tell he has a knack for the ball. So getting him more on the field and potentially getting some more takeaways, it's only going to improve this defense. And he's looking like he's going to continue to take the right steps in that regard.
I think they only took one offensive player the whole draft. I think in like the 6th round, they took Connor, the guard. So obviously the emphasis was on defense. Are any of those other guys, Simon, Burke, Birch, any of those other guys you think that could see some regular playing time on the defensive side of the ball?
I think Cody Simon's on his way. He's getting a lot of action as the Mike backer there behind Mac Wilson. So I'm really curious to see when he could find his role, kind of carve out his role. But Jordan Birch deserves a lot of credit. He is very much in that second team kind of rotation, right behind the starters on the pass rushing side of things. Like this guy can move, and he's a bigger dude too. So he's playing faster than he looks, and that's Jonathan Gannon told us the other day that typically means good things for your pass rusher at the NFL level. So if he can continue to do that, it's the sky's the limit, and he could very much be in a rotation that's Zaven Collins, Josh Sweat, Baron Browning, and himself, and his old high school running mate Xavier Thomas. He's right there with him too as a guy who can maybe find some more snaps. But yeah, Jordan Birch has definitely caught my eye this camp.
Looking at their offensive line, because you mentioned all the weapons they have in Arizona, they made a lot of changes on the defense. How is their offensive line shape up? Strength, weakness, okay.
I think it might be one of their bigger strengths. There's a lot of continuity there, and there's even more continuity now because they just re-signed Will Hernandez. And I don't know if he's going to be an instant starter back in the mix there, but he gives them incredible depth. He's an incredible locker room presence. But Isaiah Adams, the second-year guy, he's been a training camp standout, and he's really shown a lot to head coach Jonathan Gannon and the rest of the offense and the rest of the coaching staff of his ability to really step in and be a guy that they can trust. So a lot of continuity there. They've got some depth as some guys go down. Tackles are going to be something to watch. Jonah Williams, but they've got Kelvin Beachum as a swing there. Will Hernandez is going to be your eventual swing guard, if not a starter too. And then you either have Evan Brown or Isaiah Adams kind of rotate in. And then you've got Yelda Froholt as their center, who might be one of the more underrated guys, at the position in the NFL right now. And I didn't even get to Paris Johnson. He's a 2023 first rounder, and he's a cornerstone. So the offensive line, that's where this team, they've put a lot of effort in building out of the line of scrimmage. It started with the offensive line. Now we're seeing more of the defensive side, and this is exactly the type of team that general manager Monty Ossenfort wanted to build.
One last one for me, Tyler. Just going to get your thoughts on looking around the division. Obviously, the Niners' injuries last year were just crazy. Just kept on building up. You got the Rams with Matthew Stafford, and no one's really sure what that back's going to do. And then the Seattle Seahawks spend a lot of money. They bring in a new quarterback. What are your thoughts on this division as a whole? And what do you think the Cards can do in terms of finishing in the standings? Is there a chance at the playoffs, or is that maybe out of the question this season?
No, that's got to happen, I think, for this team if they don't want to have some hard decisions in the offseason. Especially, you've got to see Kyler be consistent. But when you look at the NFC West, I think it's going to be really fun. I think this is going to be a year where the division is fun again, where people are talking about it a little bit more. But at the same time, yeah, it's up for grabs. It's very much up for grabs, and that's where it's the opportunity's there. The Cardinals have to seize it. This is year 3. They've built the foundation. They've built the culture through the first 2 years. They didn't have to really worry about the wins and the losses because they've had to kind of repair from what the other regime left behind. Now with the clean slate, now they've got to go for it. They went and spent a lot this offseason. So if the offense struggles, there's going to be questions. If the defense struggles, there's going to be questions. Something's got to give if they don't reach the postseason. So that's the baseline. You've got to get back there, and you've got to look good when you're in there, because last time the Cardinals were there, that was a very, very ugly showing against the Rams. I was there. It just, one of those games where it was over before the first quarter was over. So they've got to not only get back to the postseason, they've got to look like they should be there.
Tyler, great stuff, man. Really appreciate the rundown. Enjoy the rest of the preseason. Thanks so much.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
That's Tyler Drake joining us from Arizona. The Cardinals, Marvin Harrison. If you're a fantasy player, Marvin Harrison, McBride, those are kind of obvious guys. And I wouldn't sleep on their quarterback, Cons. I could see Arizona putting up some points this year. Now, can their defense stop anybody? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, if it's fantasy, though, you're probably good with that. You want them to keep putting up the points and keep scoring. And yeah, Kyler Murray, I think it's just been consistency has been the biggest problem for him. Like when he's locked in playing his game, especially with that mobility, he can make a lot of plays and get you a lot of points, but it has to be there on a night-to-night basis. And I would think he's getting to that point, 27 years old. He's got to be that player. So I think you would be smart to take a few players off that squad. They brought in Simi Fehoko, who's a very reliable receiver as well. Not going to wow you, but can find the soft spots in his own and just kind of sit in. He's going to hold on to the football. So I like him as a fantasy option as well. Maybe not my first go-to, but as a backup, probably wouldn't mind throwing him out there for a game or two, depending on the matchup.
All right. 441, we'll come back. We got 5 questions, spec, and much more on a busy Monday edition of the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
If you're looking for the ultimate off-road adventure, you'll find it in a Jeep Wrangler. And if you're looking for the ultimate financing deal on a Wrangler, you'll find it at St. Albert Dodge. Right now, St. Albert Dodge is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months OAC on their full selection of 2025 Jeep Wranglers. And it's a great selection. Sport, Willys, Sahara, and Rubicon, plus all the new colors, all on the lot ready to go at 0%. Come see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
McDonald's summer drink days are here. Get a $2 small fruit splash beverage or a small frappe or smoothie for just $3 each. Summer's booming with McDonald's Summer Drink Days. Excludes additional flavor shots and toppings at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Summer. The sun's out, the road's calling, and your car said, nope. Don't let your summer road trip turn into a roadside nap. Swing by Napa Auto Parts. Napa has the trusted tools, smarts, and quality parts for all your automotive needs this summer. Get your vehicle ready for the road and just in time for your kids to start testing your patience and sanity.
Are we there yet?
With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
If you're an experienced RV salesperson, you have to be concerned about the state of the industry right now. With so much uncertainty, companies are downsizing their sales teams, especially at new RV stores. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Nobody knows what the future holds. But here at Noble RV, we're hiring. And we're looking for a very particular kind of RV salesperson. Of course, experience with used RVs is always an asset here.
This role requires a good sense of what the used RV owner needs, how to help them solve problems, and enjoy more of the great outdoors.
You got it, Bob. It's technically a sales position, but with none of the rat race you deal with now. You'd be more of a problem solver, helping RV owners with their ongoing experience. Someone with a few miles on the odometer is the ideal candidate. If you're ready for an exciting new career at Alberta's biggest used RV store, come find me, because there's a future for you here with us.
And that's
NobleRV.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth EE football coverage on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts from.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through. Lovely Monday, August 11th. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Big shout out to my niece, Abby, on her 19th birthday. So hope you have a great day. Enjoy it. Have a lot of fun. Pace yourself. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick, where, hey, that's what The Brick does. Saving you more on furniture, mattresses, appliances, big screen TVs coming up later this week. If you're looking for a mattress, The Brick has sales on everything starting on Friday. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. What was the biggest takeaway from the Elks win on Friday night over Montreal?
Well, biggest takeaway for me is that they found a way to win. Right? But I'm going to say the biggest takeaway was the fact that their defense got a takeaway from the secondary, and it was a pick 6 in the process. So I will go with that.
Yeah, that was nice to see. I would probably say the carries. Like, we've talked about it. Like, they got to get their running game involved. You can't win that way. They did it again, but they found a way to get the win. When you get no yards from your running backs, and I mean, I just think Javon Leake, you got to find a way to get him more involved in the game as well, not just as a returner. We've seen what he can do, but he can make some plays. Rankin has no chance. He's getting hit in the backfield. Got to find a way to really get that run game going, but hey, they got the win. Good for them. Question number 2, coming off said win, the Elks now get Toronto and Ottawa on the schedule for the Labor Day Classic. What do you think their record will be in those 2 games against the Ontario teams?
Well, the Elks are tied with Toronto for the worst record. So there's no one where I'd say, oh, this is an easy win game by any stretch of the imagination. But I think Edmonton has they had an easy chance to go 2-0. And I really felt like the Elks actually played 2 really good games prior to winning this. They should have beat Hamilton, who's a really good team. And they had more than enough chances to beat Saskatchewan. So I'm going to say the Elks win both.
I'm with you. I don't think that's like a crazy thing to say right now. You mentioned it. 3 last games, they've been playing good. Could be 3-0 in those games. It just hasn't gone their way, but I think they're starting to learn to win. And once you learn to win, it's going to go a long way. Still some things to clean up, absolutely, but winnable games, and that would set up a really big Labor Day Classic and then the rematch. So I'm hoping for a 2-0 run in the next couple here. Major League Baseball heading towards the end of the season. If you had to rank your team's power ranking style 1 through 5, how would they look?
Ooh, it's a really good question, man. Like if I look at all the teams, like it's the Brewers are just so hot right now. So I'd have to go with the Brewers, number 1. The Dodgers are getting healthy. So I will go the Dodgers, number 2. I would put the Jays 3, the Tigers 4, and the Phillies 5.
Yeah, tough to go against you with the Brewers playing some really good baseball. Only team with north of 70 wins. So Brewers 1 spot. I'll go Dodgers 2. I'm going to say Jays 3, Phillies 4, and Mariners 5. Cal Raleigh, 45 home runs this season. What a run. So that'll go for me. Question number 4 for you. Since we're in the midst of the NFL preseason, can you think of any athlete having a standout preseason performance? And it doesn't have to lead to regular season success, but someone who just really popped off in the preseason.
Oh my God. No preseason. Well, you know what? No, I guess I remember when Magnus Pajärvi had a really good preseason and everybody got excited. And I was just like, to me, preseason is just what it is. It's preseason, but I'll say Magnus Pajärvi. He had an unreal preseason once. Didn't do much else. Like McDavid's had some great preseasons, but that's not shocking to anybody. So I guess I'll go with Magnus Pajärvi.
I'll say Victor Cruz. I remember that year because he just popped off in the preseason, and it was the Jets Hard Knocks. but they played the Giants. They're like, who is this guy? And he was just making unbelievable plays. Obviously, he went on to have a good career, but always remember that one thinking, do I draft this guy in fantasy? I did not do it. Final question for you today. Actress Anna Gunn celebrates her birthday. Been in a ton of TV shows, but I think a lot of us think of her as Skylar from Breaking Bad. So on that topic, is there a character who technically wasn't really a villain, but you really disliked anyways? Because we've talked TV villains. Skylar did some shady things, but I don't know if I put her in the villain category.
Go ahead.
The one for me, I just want to make sure I get her name. From Malcolm in the Middle, Jane Kaczmarek, Lois.
Oh, the mom?
Yeah, I did not like her, but like she had to deal with 4 tough kids. I know Reese or not Reese. Who was the one that lived far away?
Well,
Francis.
Oh, yeah.
Francis was at the academy or whatever, but he was still a pain. Like all those kids were so brutal, and when I was younger, I just despised her. And now that I get older, I'm like, man, like she was doing the best she could. Even her husband Hal wasn't always the best husband or father. Like he loving, but I don't know how functional he was. So Lois for sure would be the one that I never liked.
Okay, so it's not. It wasn't. You just didn't like the character.
Yeah.
It wasn't that the character was somebody that wasn't likable per se, but you just didn't like the character.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you word it that way, oh, geez, it could be a few. Characters I didn't like in TV shows. Oof, a tough one. Like, there's lots of characters that were just, but I thought they were good at being not likable. But the first time, I always thought Ross annoyed me on Friends. But then there were some scenes where it was actually funny.
Yep.
So, like the breakup scenes were actually pretty funny with Rachel. So, but I will say, early in the first years of Friends, Ross annoyed me. Near the end, he kind of wore on me a little bit more. I thought he was funnier. So I don't know if they did that personally with his character, but that'd be it. But easily the most hated TV character of all time has to be Caillou. It's not even close. The worst. Not even close. And I only watched like 2 episodes. That's how bad he was. So
that's fair. Yeah, he's quite annoying.
Yeah. Beyond annoying. So yeah, there could be a lot of characters that you don't like. Like I find more in movies I've had characters I didn't really like. Hey guys, what about Ty Ratty? Well, Ty Ratty had but Ty Ratty had actually a good start to the season too, but he also had a pretty good, what did he score? 5 or 6 goals once in the preseason. But yeah, the Oilers had a few of them for sure. Hey Gregor, what about the blonde curly hair girl on Ozark? Ruth? Are you talking Ruth?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Ruth. I thought she was awesome. Like when she was, and she's screaming, obviously I can't say it on air. I thought that was like one of the greatest scenes ever. I loved Ruth. Wow. Hey guys, Carmela Soprano. There's Phil and Oddball and Dave and Mike. A lot of them not fans. I never really watched The Sopranos.
She was a little annoying.
Is that the mom?
Yeah, Tony's wife.
Okay.
Tony's sister and Tony's mom also extremely unlikable.
Why, like rude? What you know like?
The mom was just hard on him and kind of like whined all the time. The sister just kind of a screw up. Tony had to bail her out a few times.
Oh, well, that happens.
She had one really good moment, but she handled her business at one point. But yeah, Sopranos had a few.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not bad people.
You know, actually, I didn't at first. I didn't really like Wendy Bird.
Yeah,
in Ozark.
Well, that's fair.
All right. At first, I didn't really like her, but man, God, that show was so good. It's got better. Like Bateman, he was excellent in that show. So it's funny because like my original, like if you had to ask me, like, what was your original thought of Jason Bateman, and it would have been Teen Wolf, right? When he was in Teen Wolf 2, it was terrible. But he went on to much bigger things after that. Much better things.
He's got range actually.
Oh yeah, like he's very fun. Like Arrested Development. Oh my God, he is awesome in that show. So, and then as Marty Bird in Ozark, fantastic. But oh God. Yeah, like Michael Bluth and Job. Oh God. There's like that show is funny. If you haven't watched Arrested Development and you just need some laughs with like the offside humor in it. Oh, so good. Like there's days when, because there's not like I need a good comedy right now. I just can't find one. But so go to some old school ones and they're great. So that's one that I can pull back the clock, and that's a show I like all the time. What are you laughing about?
Just Declan's tweet. You talked about how we used aloe vera, and I said I'm struggling as a purist. I can't go down that route. He said you guys are acting like I drank paint. It's a good reply.
I didn't mind it. I just said, hey man, desperate times call for desperate measures. I wasn't opposed to it. Like I can see the theory. People put aloe vera on their burnt skin to soothe it. So if you had chapped lips, in theory, it should work quite well.
The vitamin E thing checks out too.
Yeah. Hey Gregor, what about Brendan Lamborghini Perlini? Yeah. Another guy who's you know what? Like there was quite a few fan favorites over time from the preseason. And the great part was like you'd warn them, like, guys, don't think this is going to carry over. No, it's not real. He's the answer. And I get why Oilers fans, like they were just looking for anybody to try to lead them out of the jungle of terrible. So you'd latch on to anything you had. And that's what preseason was. It gave you hope. And then it just ripped it out, stepped on it, kicked you in the nuts. And it happened a few times. Multiple ones. Hey guys, Mama Soprano put a hit out on her own son. Pure villainy from Manny. Oof. That true, Cons?
Yeah, to the other old gentleman, I forget his name.
Put it out on your own kid. That's
yeah, she is pretty bad. But like his wife and sister, I don't think were actually villains. The mom might have been.
Okay.
She's so annoying. You should watch Sopranos. Some of it's a little dated, obviously, but
right. Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah. No, all right. Well, I've heard good things about it, but sometimes I find like the show, it's like just it's too like it's gone. I missed my chance.
Yeah.
Right. It's trying to like you're coming in late. Right. You try to invest in a stock and it's already the best times gone by. Like you're playing catch up, and playing catch up rarely works. So I didn't do it. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where they are hiring. Want to work for a fantastic company? Get a hiring bonus, get matching RSPs, tuition reimbursement, and a highly competitive wage. Go to legacyheating.ca. Apply today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Hlinka Gretzky Cup underway in Czechia. Canada kicked off their tourney with a 5-3 win over Finland this morning. Tomorrow, they'll take on the Swiss. Puck drop 7:30. Elsewhere, Sweden crushed Germany 10-0. Host Czech beat Switzerland 6-2. And the U.S. doubled up Slovakia 6-3. The Minnesota Wild announced today that they've signed defenseman Jack Johnson to a PTO. Johnson, 38, skated in 41 games last season with the Jackets, recording 6 helpers. 12 games in the majors today. Jays off, taking on the Cubs tomorrow. Got the Rays and the Athletics, Giants host the Padres, Angels up against the Dodgers, the Red Sox in Houston, Cards take on the Rockies and the Tigers in Chicago for a series with the White Sox. And some good news potentially for the Philadelphia Eagles, as reports say Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson avoided a major injury. The plan is for him to undergo surgery, and he could return early in the season, potentially even week 1 against the Cowboys. And one game in the WNBA tonight, Sun taking on the Valkyries, tip off at 8 p.m. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and look at the Blue Jays with Mike Wilner. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
McDonald's summer drink days are here. Get a $2 small fruit splash beverage or a small frappe or smoothie for just $3 each. Summer's booming with McDonald's Summer Drink Days. Excludes additional flavor shots and toppings. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
It's the Bricks Great Canadian Staycation Sale. Score hot summer savings like up to 20% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Save 60% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Plus, save up to 20% off dining and bedroom furniture. Get up to $400 off big screen TVs and buy more, save more. Up to $1,000 off select major appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
If you're an experienced RV salesperson, you have to be concerned about the state of the industry right now. With so much uncertainty, companies are downsizing their sales teams, especially at new RV stores. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Nobody knows what the future holds. But here at Noble RV, we're hiring. And we're looking for a very particular kind of RV salesperson. Of course, experience with used RVs is always an asset here.
This role requires a good sense of what the used RV owner needs, how to help them solve problems, and enjoy more of the great outdoors.
You got it, Bob. It's technically a sales position, but with none of the rat race you deal with now. You'd be more of a problem solver, helping RV owners with their ongoing experience. Someone with a few miles on the odometer is the ideal candidate. If you're ready for an exciting new career at Alberta's biggest used RV store, come find me, because there's a future for you here with us.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Whatever tickles your fancy. Instance, lottery, casino, sports, live dealer, all in one place. And all the revenue stays right here in Alberta at PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, we got a lot of text flying in at 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Doing the math on all of our different polls on the text line on the YouTube, as well as on X, and running around to 71% right now overall on people that are au naturel, non-chap stickers. And then there's 29% of you that are addicted. Because it seems like there's no middle ground. Now, if you use it once a year, that's obviously different. Sure, sometimes, maybe for whatever, maybe it's dry in the wintertime, or maybe got, Anna, our nurse, says chapstick is due to dehydration. But Connor, now with his 8-gallon water bottle that he logs around the studio, I don't believe that dehydration, now it's just probably addiction. I'm not sure, but I don't know if it can, can you be dehydrated at a time in your life, but then you just get addicted to it? I don't know. So we'll see. Let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. Something simple as getting you running water, or a little bit more complicated to ensure that freeway is running smooth. That is GS Construction, as Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, are you a chappy?
Or I've been listening to your show. Been listening to the show all day. I got a few things we got to deal with here.
Sure.
Let's start with International Lefty Day.
Oh,
My wife Shelka is a lefty, makes the best left-handed pierogies you ever taste. There was no left-hander in town I grew up pitching against. Guy named Terry Mazeppa, played for the Edmonton 26ers, played in the Sunburst League for the Wobbman Whiskey Jacks. He was an old lefty. Only when I was an adult did I find out, Jason, that in Polish, Mazeppa means old, broken down woman. If I'd have known that when we were 12 and 16, I really could have used it. So that's the lefties. What else did we do? The Rouge.
Yeah.
The Rouge sucks when they kick it right through the end zone and it's a free point. But maybe I missed this part, Jay. The part that I didn't hear on your show was the reason they have the Rouge is because in the Canadian League, the goalposts are in play. It's not like the NFL where every missed field goal is a dead ball. So you got to do something or they'll just kneel every time, right?
Well, that's why I said, Spec, you put in the rule that if you just take the knee, you only get to scrimmage at your 20, not out at the 35.
Sure. That's
Right?
all right. I don't mind if the ball can't roll out of the end zone on its own steam, it's going to be worth a point. Like if you're going to miss the field goal, that thing still has to land in the end zone and be in play. If you kick it through, if you punt it through, no point. You got to place it in there. And then the guy's got to run it out. Or even better, Jason, even better, then you have the punt wars, which we love.
Well, punts, I said I could keep it in for punts, but I would take it out on missed field goals. I don't like rewarding the missed field goal.
Okay, that's fair. But what I also don't like is the guy, in that case, if it's a tie game and I'm on your 20-yard line, I'm just going to punt it right through. I don't like that either. Any idiot can punt it through. That's not even that's just free points. So either way, there's a way to, I don't want to get rid of that rule, but there's a way to refine it, which now brings us to chapstick.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's very simple. If you use chapstick in the winter, because it's so dry in Edmonton, lots of people use chapstick. I usually have a chapstick in my pocket in the winter. If you're using it in the summer, you should go seek treatment and get some help. That you're clearly addicted if you're using it in the summer. Is there like a Henwood for chapstick?
Oh, there might need to be one. You know what? They're about 30 to 32%, give or take, of our audience are regular and self-admitted chappies. That constant users of it. Yeah. Well, I clearly, once you start on it, I think the chapstick becomes a habit. But I have a lot of people saying, well, yeah, they have the ingredients in it that your lips, like people who stop taking it, their lips get super chapped. So it's just like it's an endless cycle. It's a little bit of an addictive drug for them, more so just out of the comfort of not having overly chapped lips.
See, I'm a Burt's Bees man, if you're looking at the camera here. So I'll go to Costco and buy that like 10-pack of Burt's Bees, and it lasts you for like 3 winters till you finally lose them or use them or whatever. That stuff's really top end, high end. That's like the, I don't know what it is. It's excellent. It's the high end champagne of chapsticks, but I don't feel like I get addicted because of that. I don't like once it's spring and it's not dry as a bone in Edmonton, I don't need that stuff anymore.
Okay, fair. But yeah, you're like, I think I might use chapstick once every 3 years. I rarely use it. I just, knock on wood. I haven't had to use it. I drink a lot of water. Maybe some people think that a high dehydration plays a factor, but I see the people and I watch them and I see Struds lugging around his little chapstick blue thing. And now Connor Halley, Connor's like a secret chapstick addiction.
Okay.
I worked for him for 6 years. I don't even know, like he kind of hides it. You know how like those smokers, Spec, they would smoke and then they would spray perfume on themselves because they didn't want people to know. Yeah. Connor's at that point where he doesn't want people to know that he is a chronic chapper.
Now, do you think there's a correlation between how much chapsticks you use and how much ass you kiss? What about that?
Well, geez, for strutting, I could see it maybe. Cons, not so much. So, strutting though, for sure. Right? There's a few people now in my life that, because most people have had that one, ass kisser that they've worked with at the work, and you know who they are. And they're just like, they're kind of the worst. Like, if we're being honest, they're kind of the worst. So
next time you have that guy at your office,
I'm going to ask him, do you use
no, just quietly sidle over and put a chapstick on his desk and say, hey, you might need this.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
It's a little subtle point. Yeah. We know what you're doing there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
No, that's not bad at all.
Okay.
Speaking of not bad, Spec, the Elks, you just need wins. And a week after blowing it, Julian Grant comes up with a huge performance, 2 touchdowns, including one in the final 30 seconds to help them secure the win.
Yeah, this is we talked about making plays. I feel like Grant really, he could have got down on the 5-yard line. That was a 50-50 play with, what was there, 46 seconds left or something?
Yeah, I don't even think it was that much.
Maybe not, whatever the number was. He catches a pass across the middle. It wasn't a hard, difficult catch, but the DB is on him right now. And to me, that defines making a play, Jay. He could have settled for the gain, gone down. It's second down on the 5 or whatever it was. And now you still got to punch it in. But he made a play. He eluded that guy. He dragged that defender all the way to the end zone. You could tell that the guy who blew it a week ago wanted that touchdown more than anything in this earth. And he played like it. And they made plays. I think it was Morgan made the play on the special teams fumble on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
That's a play that no one's been making on this team, right? I thought that I'm trying to think.
Well,
I think
the Ford interception was massive.
The Ford interception, he stepped in, he made a play, bounced it around a bit, took it all the way. They haven't made that play. Even Julian Grant's first touchdown, that ball's behind him a little bit. He makes the play. He would have had an excuse to drop it, but he didn't. He caught it. He made 2 touchdowns. So that's the difference between winning and losing, is a few guys step up, a few guys make plays. Before you know it, you're on the right side of it.
Yeah. Well, it definitely helps when you're, they didn't beat themselves in
Yeah.
that. And to me, I think that was the major difference, because that's been a problem. There's no one can argue that. And, part of that, hey, we said it earlier, like learning to win, Spec, is getting over knowing how to lose. Because that's what they knew. They knew how to lose. You want to find a way to make a mistake at a key time. The Elks were very good at that. And so for this week, it was like, guess what? You know what? There's going to be mistakes in the game, and they had some mistakes, but they didn't make the glaring mistake at the key time, and it didn't cost them. And now they have a chance, Spec, to, you're at home. You're going to come that flight home. They felt great. You win late, and you had a defense finally that comes up forward with a huge pick 6. And, Julian Grant gets those plays. And so, you know what? They'll come home and they'll feel better about themselves. They're not perfect. They don't have to be perfect. No one's expecting them to be perfect, but it's a team that was a desperation, I felt, for a win.
Well, and if sometimes, like, there's an expression in tennis about just getting it back over the net and let the other guy make the mistake, and there's a version of that in every sport. Like, I thought they played a solid game of football. Everybody did their job. And who made the big mistakes, right? Bethel Thompson throws that pick 6, it wasn't a great pick 6. He throws it up. Edmonton gets the mistake. And who drops the ball? Whoever their return man is, he drops the ball on the 5-yard line. That is a killer mistake. If the Elks do that, we're railing on them for it. So sometimes you just got to get it back over the net and let the other guy shoot them in the foot for a change.
Oh, yes. No, 100%. Like the Elks, like I said, the Elks were finding ways to lose games rather than necessarily win. And I think that would be a game that if you were talking about Montreal would be saying, God, we lost that game.
We lost that game.
Yeah, they blew it. No question. They blew it. And so, hey, some people would tell you things even out, and I'm not sure about that. But now you have an opportunity on Friday night to get a win. Now, speaking of playoff, Spec, tomorrow you got the Riverhawks. It is their final home game of the season, win or lose. If they win, they move on to the league championship, but they'll be on the road because the South teams both have a better record. And man, the Riverhawks, like what an unreal story. They've been a great story, and a lot of people are excited to go to the Ball Diamond every night to watch them.
Yeah, they are. And they deserve another gate. They came home, they got 2 nights. I didn't see the attendance at those games this weekend, Jay. Did you?
I did not. No, I was out in Canmore, so I didn't see the attendance.
Sometimes what happens with minor league ball, at least in the Trappers days, is you sold a bunch of season tickets, but they ran out in the playoffs. You start selling at 0 in the playoffs. So sometimes you don't have the playoff crowd that you did during the season, but regardless, these guys, they deserve a few extra gates. They've Randy Gregg and Steve Hoagland and all those guys. Like, I think I'll hop on my bike and go. I'll tell you what, I tried driving down there when it was an 8,500 person night. I made it and watched the game. Kevin Carius quit and went home with his tail between his legs that night. So he had to go back another night when the weather wasn't very nice, and he thought it would be a little easier because, you know, Kevin is a little bit of an obstacle is all it takes, right? And he's done. But I think I might ride my bike down there tomorrow.
Oh God, why not? Like it's going to be a great. Like I was looking at the weather. The weather right now, anyway, looks good. I know it's Alberta, so that could change literally from the first pitch to the end. But yeah, it's the final night for baseball for sure in Edmonton, win or lose. And I would think on a Tuesday night for playoff game, you've got a lot of sports fans in the cities. Playoffs, I don't care what league it is. When you have playoffs, the atmosphere is just better. And there's some people like, I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I love the intensity of playoffs, and that's why you go to those games tomorrow.
And it does that event that they're running down there. You don't have to know anything about baseball. Go down there and have fun. You know, just go have fun. They've got promotions the whole game. They're making you laugh. Were you down there this year when they had the weenie of the game? It's the first time I've ever seen that.
Well, Spec, did you win?
No, I wasn't the weenie. It was the catcher on the other team. I mean, they yelled weenie of this guy, and he refused to strike out. He got like 3 hits and a walk. So they never got a hot dog out of this catcher from whatever team they were playing. Yeah. But tons of fun. I mean, laughs. Oh my God, we had so many laughs there.
Oh, you know what? It is great. My son really likes it. So we're gonna try. He's got another commitment tomorrow night, but so we might show up a little bit late. We'll see, because it's summertime. The game can you can get there in the 3rd inning and still be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what we're hoping to do. Speaking of baseball games, Spec, I know you're a huge baseball guy. I got home just in time, turned on the TV, was watching the 7th inning. Then I watched the 8th and the 9th of the Jays game against the Dodgers. That was unbelievable. Those 2 innings of baseball, it had everything. It had home runs. Now, obviously, you know, it had the great parts of it. Then you had Hoffman, who's the closer. He hasn't pitched in a week. And it was funny. One of my buddies is a big baseball guy, and he says, when you're a baseball pitcher and you've got so much energy, usually when you're off, you're going to miss high. Because you're overthrowing. And so Hoffman's throwing 97, 96, 98, and they're all high. And he hadn't pitched in a week. And so I saw some people try, oh, geez, maybe he's not the closer. I'm like, my God, it's one performance. It's more so, I don't think you can go again this year. And you probably won't. But you could say, hey, we're not going to go a week without him pitching. I know it's because of some massive blowouts and days off and everything else. But, you know, I look at it, and I don't know if you watched Flaherty come in there, but that was unbelievable. Young guys in there. He strikes out Shohei freaking Ohtani, and then he gets bets on a ground ball. And like I saw his reaction, like he so wanted to go crazy, but he's kind of like a little subdued in the celebration. I was like, God, I wish he just would have went nuts, because you know I was watching and I was like, that's unreal. Like you got 2 MVP type players, bases juiced, and you get them both out. It's unreal.
Well, did you hear him after the game? The Shai Davidi asked him about his pitch, you know, his plan and when he went in there, what was his strategy against those guys? He says, man, I was blacked out. I don't remember what happened out there. He says, I just went out there and pitched, and you know, it was what you're talking about. It was a huge moment, probably, you know, certainly a moment in his career he's never going to forget. When he's a grandfather, he'll tell that story. I struck out Ohtani. I got bets out. We won the game. Tons of fun. Like, I thought the Jays really, you know what? They really showed you something. They like Guerrero, you know, he knocked one off the wall for an RBI, I think in the 1st or 2nd inning. Yeah. And they need him in the 8th, and he hits a home run in the 8th, you know. And who hit the one in the
Ernie Clement.
Ernie Clement hit the one in the 9th, right? So they really, like, I just felt like they were, it's the cliche thing, backs against the wall. They're about to lose 3 in a row. They're playing a really good team, and they really showed up. I loved what I saw from the Jays. I think that, forget the games before, they got beat by a good team. That happens, but I thought that game's going to last for them. That was a clutch game. The starter or the closer falters. Someone comes out of the bullpen and picks him up, right? They need a homer in the 9th. They get one. That had everything that you can wring a lot of courage out of that game for weeks to come here if you're the Blue Jays.
Oh God, yeah. And now they got your Cubbies coming in. What do you make of the Cubbies, who are hitting a little bit of the skids here?
They are hitting the skids. I don't even know who to cheer for. I'm a big Jays fan too, but I mean, I don't know. My Cubs didn't do anything at the deadline, and it looks like they should have. Huh? They're kind of leaking oil down the stretch here. So I think they're a playoff team. Let's see what happens.
Oh no, they're a playoff team for sure. I was kind of surprised they did nothing.
I know, me too. I was kind of disappointed. I thought they'd make a big splash, but hey, listen, man. Sometimes it's the team that doesn't that makes the hey, let's see what happens. It's fun to see the Jays and Cubs play. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Oh God, yeah. Well, you know what? The Cubbies are still the Cubbies. They're I know they were lovable losers for a long, long time and finally won. And you know they're a competitive team. They're good. They got the third best record in baseball. Like they're what, you got 67 wins and 50 losses. So they're right there. They've just played 2 fewer games than the Jays. They have the same amount of losses. And you know you got the Brewers that are surging. It's good. The other thing, and I want to address it once just because we've had a lot of people texting about it. And I know that you've talked to both sides. I've talked to both sides, Spec. There's really nothing new to report on the Connor McDavid front. I said it, a week and a half ago with Struds that, Edmonton, when they announced this contract, they want McDavid in town. You have a press conference. It's your biggest, it's your superstar player. You're not going to announce it 3 or 4 or whatever the extension is, 5 years if he's not in town. And so from a logistics standpoint, he's coming to Calgary later this month. You put 2 and 2 together. Is there an opportunity there? Yes. Would he go all the way back out east or just go from that camp to right to Edmonton? Maybe. So, there's opportunities there, but I haven't, in my latest call now, granted, I went on, a little holiday for 4 days, so I didn't talk to anybody. So I don't know if you have or not, but nothing suggests this is imminent for you, does it? And, but also at the same time, nothing suggests it's not happening. It's just a matter of what the term is going to be.
I'm with you. I heard you talking earlier. I feel exactly the same way. I have absolutely no question he's going to sign here. It is a matter of term. I don't think he'll surprise us with a 2-year deal. I think, to me, the number is going to be 4. Maybe it's 5. I don't think it would be 8. I'd be very surprised, pleasantly surprised, but surprised. The last thing I'll say is just looking at this thing from 30,000 feet, Jay, here's what we all know is if camp starts and he's not signed, it's going to hang over this team. Right. Every town you go to, every time McDavid does an interview, every time Stan Bowman does an interview, it's just going to be an ever-present thing. So to me, if camp begins and they get in the season, if the season starts and he's not signed, then I think it's fair to say that nobody wanted it to get that far, but it got that far anyway, and that's a problem somewhere in the works. There's a problem. I don't think it's going to get that far. I think they're going to have a deal done, and whether they do it around the Calgary camp, whether they say, hey, man, when you come back for camp, maybe we open camp and we announce it.
Sure.
It'll be at McDavid's convenience when he's in town. I don't see him making a flight all the way from Toronto for a press conference. There's no need for that.
No.
So I think it'll happen. I don't think we'll see the season start without a contract. If it does, call me back, because then I think we better do some digging.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Like and I understand why Oilers fans are nervous a bit, but
you're always nervous. You're always nervous until it gets done.
Everything I've heard from all parties is that the deal will get done, and it's just a matter of when and really what's the term going to be. The AAV obviously is going to matter. It's going to be 16 and a half. Maybe 17. We'll see. But like there's nothing, and I go back a year, Spec, that I've been saying this for a year. Connor McDavid signed an extension. But I've been saying for a long time that I think a shorter term, like a 4-year deal, would actually make sense for all parties. Now, obviously the organization would rather take 8, but if you're taking an 8-year deal, you're gonna have to pay him way more. That's just a fact, because the salary cap in year 1 of his contract is going to be $104 million. It's going to be $113 in the second year. We know that for a fact. So by year 3, is it 118? Is it 120? What's it, 125 by year 4? You're just, if you're going to sign an 8-year deal, you're going to have to pay way more. And that just makes the next few years harder.
Is he not only eligible for 20% of the cap, correct?
Yes.
So that means, let's say he signed
20% of 95.
20% of, well, no, is it 20% of the cap
that's coming up for the upcoming season? Even if though his new deal wouldn't kick in till the next year, he's only eligible for 20% of what this year's cap.
So that's less than 20 million. I was going to say, if I'm Connor McDavid and you're signing me to, and I'm eligible for the number next year, I mean, I might hang on till next year. If I'm going to sign 8 years, I want 21 million. If that's 20% of the cap, because that's the start of my 8-year deal. I'm going to 14% of the cap within 5-6 years.
Mhm.
So anyway, the smartest, if I'm his agent, I'm telling him this: sign 4-year deal. Let's renegotiate after 4. We can look at a lot of different things, but we'll also get back to being whatever we're at. If you want 18% of the cap, if you want 70% of the cap, that's going to be a different number 4 years from now and a much bigger number than it is today.
Well, his previous one was 16.6, I think it was, which was exact same as what Crosby's was when he signed on his $8.7 million deal. So, something like that he could do. I just, I'll reiterate from what I've been saying for months. Anybody trying to tell you that they know what the contract is just making up stuff. Let's just call that spade a spade. I've talked to both sides, and not once has either side said, "Oh, we're working on a 2-year deal or we're working on a 4-year deal." That has never been said by either side.
Yeah, it's been pretty vague out there. This is one that the Oilers certainly aren't going to screw up on. And McDavid's been at a wedding and partying all summer and training, so I haven't seen anyone who's actually talked to Connor.
Yeah. So, and really, Connor would probably let his agent, Judd Moldover, do this anyway. And he's not, he's a smart agent. He's not saying publicly what his number is going to be, nor should he. So we'll see. Spec, we will chat with you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening.
Sounds good, Jake.
Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction will return. And it seems crazy to say because it's August 11th. But we'll talk a little playoff push next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
My mouth can't handle another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cattail Crossing. Early risers, this one's for you. Tee off bright and early and enjoy breakfast on us. Only $55 with Rise and Dine. Book at cattailcrossing.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:29. Welcome back. Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game, use the promo code Gregor50 at PlayAlberta.ca. Time now to talk a little baseball. So we get to the playoff report, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings If you're looking for solar on your home or on your commercial building, they can do them at actionelectrical.net. And of course, hey, I know we say playoffs because officially now we're kind of into the final quarter of the season in Major Leagues of Baseball. And from the Deep Left Field podcast, also a writer at the Toronto Star, longtime analyst for the Toronto Blue Jays, Mike Wilner joins us. And Mike, before we get to baseball, we're getting to the question of the day. Are you addicted to chapstick or do you have natural lips? What are you doing?
I don't know that anyone's ever suggested I might have natural lips, but I have very rarely, if ever, used one of those like dry lip products, except for 30 years ago when they thought it was a good idea for me to go on Accutane, and it was not a good idea.
All right, so you're not carrying around lip balm or chapstick on yourself, is what you're saying?
Nope.
No, okay.
Not that there's anything wrong.
No. We're trying to find out. We're doing like an unofficial poll on the show today, and there's quite a few people that are chappies, as we like to say. You've been covering the Jays for a long time. And Mike, I know obviously it's fun right now that they're an entertaining team, but that 8th and 9th innings yesterday might have been two of the most entertaining innings for a lot of reasons in the game yesterday. Good and even bad. And that's what made it highly entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was. What more could you want from the last two innings of a baseball game? 2 blown saves, a big game, big go-ahead home runs in the top of each of the 8th and 9th, a bullpen meltdown that was averted by the youngest member of the pitching staff getting his first big league save. I mean, it had everything. And that's, the fact that the Blue Jays are playing so well and these games are so meaningful just adds to it. It's a lot, there are games like that when your team is in 4th place, 17 and a half games out, but they certainly don't feel as big as that for sure. And that felt incredible. It was just an incredible finish.
And I look at Hoffman, and it was funny because my buddy's a big baseball, and he just, as I text him afterward before when Hoffman was coming in, and I said, hey, what do you make of, guy not pitching for a week? And he's like, well, he's probably going to be amped up. And if he's overamped, he'll be pitching high. And then I watched it and I was like, and he's throwing gas. And it wasn't like he was wild crazily, but he kept missing high. And so is that just a situation where, you look at it as a one-off, or do you have any concern for Hoffman moving forward?
He had 10 walks all season before yesterday when he walked 5. So I think it had way more to do with, like you said, not having pitched for a week than anything else. And it's a tough call as to when to use him, right? Because, and I talked about that today on the podcast, he hadn't pitched in the whole Colorado series, which I'm sure he kind of wanted to because he played there for so long, but all the games were blowouts. And then Friday, if you use him when you're losing, say, well, yeah, he needs the work. We got to get him in on Friday. Well, what if you need him Saturday and Sunday in close games? And then you won't be able to use him in both games. Then Saturday, when it's 9-0, you can say, all right, we'll just throw him in here for the bottom of the 8th to get sharp. But what if he throws 26 pitches on Saturday? And then when you need him Sunday, you don't have him. It's a really, really tough call to say, this is not a place where we would ordinarily use this pitcher, but we have to use him anyway when you don't have an off day coming up. So I don't know that there was nothing they could do, but it was really difficult to find a spot for him. And he very clearly could not find his release point yesterday.
Yeah. So, and that's really what it comes down to, right? Is the mechanics where for whatever reason, he's just, maybe I've never been a closer. So I don't know, like those guys used to pitching 3-4 times a week, sometimes 5, depending on what pitch count they're on. And you just get into a creature of habit. And so all of a sudden you sit out a week. Like I don't know when the last time he would have sat out a week and not played unless he was hurt.
Right. And I'm not sure when that was. I think the All-Star break probably was. And he pitched the game before the All-Star break, and then he pitched the Sunday after, but I think he might have pitched Friday night too. I don't remember. Okay. But yeah, these all these guys are creatures of habit, and they need regular work. It's one of the concerns potentially about Ernie Clement now that Andres Jimenez is coming back from the injured list probably tomorrow. Ernie's played all but 2 games this year, and now he's going to go to the bench against most right-handed pitchers. And how's that going to affect him overall? So, you can't sit a reliever for a week and expect him to be sharp, even though they know that when they're called upon, they are required to be sharp.
Now, you mentioned Ernie Clement. He's going to go to the bench against the right-handed pitchers, but he's played there all year long, Mike, and he's hit pretty well. Like, Jimenez is maybe probably a better defender, sure, but he's not close to the hitter. So where would you go that strict, or would you look and say, man, like, this guy's been really good for us? And he just had that huge hit in that game. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to automatically put him on the bench just because we have another guy there who's not as good, especially at the plate.
Jimenez OPS against right-handers is actually 70 points higher than Clement.
Oh, okay.
Even in this terrible year for Jimenez. But I mean, I don't want to just throw him on the bench either. Like, this is the thing. Ernie's been kind of bad against right-handed pitching and great against lefties. The home run he hit yesterday was against a lefty, but he hit a home run against a righty earlier in the week too.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a natural thing. The Blue Jays love going with the platoon advantage. They love as many left-handed bats against right-handers and vice versa as possible. And, it surprised me too when I saw it that Jimenez had actually performed significantly better than Clement against right-handers this season. Yeah. So I think that's why you do it. But I think you also have to find some ways to get him in there against righties. You can't go from playing absolutely every day to just playing twice a week, especially as important as he's been for them.
You look at what about the start? There's lots of talk. They're going to go to a 6-man rotation here when Shane Bieber comes up. What's your expectation of that? What's the concern, and what's the potential pros for it?
Well, the pros are that everybody in the Jays starting rotation, aside from Bieber and Eric Lauer, is old.
Yeah.
So that helps. And Jose Barrios has never missed a start in his life. Chris Bassett and Kevin Gausman have been super reliable as Blue Jays. And Max Scherzer, since he's been back, has looked like Max Scherzer, but he's 41.
Yes.
These guys need a bit of a breather. The problem is giving them too much of a breather. It's the same almost as we're talking about with these everyday players, right?
Yeah.
You can't start a guy on 7 days rest or 8 days rest a couple of times. And with the off days that are going to pop up in the schedule in September, that might happen if they go to a straight 6-man. So I think they're going to go to, what we'll probably wind up describing as a modified 6-man rotation. There will be a couple of weeks where there are too many off days, so they'll just throw Eric Lauer in the bullpen for that time, or they'll skip a Gausman, or they'll skip a Bassett, or skip a Scherzer to give them 10 days and just give them that breather that they might not get until October. And I think that'll wind up helping them out. It's not going to be an easy balance, but I think they can figure it out.
Lauer, the obvious one for you then to go to the bullpen if they decide to go with 5?
It has to be. I mean, even though he's been arguably their most effective starter, you can't, Barrios, Gausman, Bassett, you just can't. You can't ask them to go to the bullpen. That's not what they've ever done, and it's not what they do. And, Max Scherzer would probably kill you if you suggested that you throw him into the bullpen.
What are you hearing about Manoah?
He's steadily working back on his rehab. He's just moved to Double-A. I don't think he's ready, and his 30 days are almost up. So in order to, the way the rules are is when you start a pitcher on a rehab assignment, you get 30 days, and then he has to be called up or shut down for a week, and then you can start another 30 days. At least you can't pitch in front of paying fans for 7 days, I think is the actual rule. So I feel like that's what they're going to do with Manoah. After his next rehab start, he'll take a week off, and then he'll get back at it, and he'll be an option in September. But I think, they just moved Trey Savage up to Buffalo, their first-round pick last year, who's striking out 15 guys every 9 innings in the minors. I think Savage is way more likely to pitch in the majors this year than Manoah at this point.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that young kid, and I was looking at his numbers. I'm like, oh my God, like this guy's just striking out everybody. Was this quick of a progress expected for him this year?
It's never expected, right? But it's hoped for. I talked to him in spring training, and in spring training, there were people saying this guy's going to be in the big leagues this year. He'll pitch out of the bullpen in September if he's got innings left. And he's only thrown 80 in a third innings this year. He's got like 137 strikeouts, something stupid like that.
Number.
Yeah. So, he'll go to Buffalo. He had been a starter all year long, but his last outing was out of the bullpen. And this was, it was 5 innings out of the bullpen, but it was out of the bullpen, and it was a way for them to say, okay, look, let's see if you can handle this timing. And, you're going to have to get ready in game. It's not something he's ever done, but if he gets called up, it's going to be what he has to do. And he went out, and he was great, and he pitched 5 innings, and he was wonderful. And you would think in Buffalo, they're going to be shorter stints. There'll be an inning or 2 out of the bullpen, bigger spots later in games. See how he handles that. And if he's as good there as he was at the other 3 levels he's pitched at this year, it would not surprise me to see him in the big leagues in September.
Awesome. So part of the expanded roster, which would be fantastic for them, no question.
Well, remember, it's different now. The expanded roster is only 2 guys. You used to be able to call up 15,
right?
But you only get one pitcher and 1 position player, so they have to really want it to be him if it's going to be him.
Now, they can call up that's all that they get. Now at the playoffs, could they call anybody else up, or is it just that's what you're stuck with, those 2?
No, the playoffs you go back down to 26.
Oh, right. Yeah, right, because you change your roster each series, right?
Yeah, you can change your roster however much you want, but you just can't do it in series. But between series, yeah, you can take guys on, put guys on, take guys off as much as you want.
And one last one for you, Mike. You mentioned the Barger home run yesterday, and here's a guy who just continues to come up big at big times. If you were looking at the ideal lineup for the Jays, is he your third baseman automatically?
He is against right-handed pitchers. Yeah, I think in the ideal lineup, he's the third baseman against righties, and your outfield against right-handers is probably Varsho, Lucas, and Loperfido. And you've got Springer DHing. And yeah, I mean, Addison Barger at this point is undeniable. Again, at least against right-handed pitchers. He's just as bad against lefties as Ernie Clement is against righties. But you face righties way more often. And I mean, yeah, he's done way more than anybody's expected. He's a legit middle of the order big league bat, no question.
And what about George Springer? All right, is he having like extended concussion issues? Is that the delay?
The delay is that he hasn't passed all the tests.
Okay.
There's a very strict protocol from Major League Baseball that the team isn't allowed to ignore, right? So he's got to check every single box on the return to play plan in order to get back to rehab games. And he hasn't been able to do that. I haven't talked to him in a week since they've been on the road, but the last time I talked to him when the Jays were at home last week, he was feeling okay. He was hitting bombs in batting practice. He was running around. So there's got to be something that still isn't perfect, and you don't mess with the head, right? We've learned that over the years. So it's got to be perfect for him to get back, and hopefully that's tomorrow.
Yeah. Awesome stuff, Mike. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thanks so much for this. Enjoy the games.
All right. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. There's Mike Wilner from the Deep Left Field podcast. If you're a Jays fan, definitely listen to that one. It's awesome. Great stuff from Mike. Also writes in the Toronto Star. We'll take a quick break, come back. More on the Gregor Show, a little oil report brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's the Bricks Great Canadian Staycation Sale. Score hot summer savings like up to 20% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Save 60% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Plus, save up to 20% off dining and bedroom furniture. Get up to $400 off big screen TVs and buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off select major appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair. They'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast. Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Splash some adventure on your summer with the return of Sourdough Raft Race, Sunday, August 17th. Watch teams barrel down the North Saskatchewan River in a fun, friendly, competitive race. Everyone's welcome at the pre-race breakfast from Friesen Brothers. Just $10 per person. Don't miss the Sourdough Raft Race, Sunday, August 17th. Come watch the fun or take part. There's still time to register at sourdoughraprace.com. Sponsored in part by Oil City Cranes. sourdoughraprace.com.
McDonald's summer drink days are here. Get a $2 small fruit splash beverage or a small frappe or smoothie for just $3 each. Summer's booming with McDonald's summer drink days. Excludes additional flavor shots and toppings at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Jump on OTR's party shuttle buses to Elks games, Riverhawks games, concerts at Commonwealth. To see all upcoming best events, visit ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's time to get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. The midsummer sales event is on now where you can lease a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save an additional $5,000. Check it out at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. And today, some Oiler news, more at the American League level, as some guys who are in the organization, some names that Matt Brown, also Trevor Yannick is being signed, and Mats Lindgren, the son of Mats Lindgren. Now, it doesn't say Mats Lindgren Jr., it just says Mats Lindgren. And also Luke Prokop, of course, former Edmonton Oil King, drafted by the Nashville Predators, and he has signed with the Bakersfield Condors. So that gives them some good organizational depth at the AHL level. And Prokop, young defenseman, still big body. There's never, he would not be the first defenseman who left one organization and went to another one and found his stride a little bit more. So that happens quite often. Also, this just coming down, the Seattle Kraken have signed Riker Evans to a 2-year deal at 2.05 AAV. But the Oilers, now those signings do not count on the 50-man roster. In case you're wondering, the Oilers, obviously that's not really an issue for them. They've got 46 contracts right now, and I don't, we've had some people wondering, hey, are they going to bring anybody in on a PTO? Like, I don't really see a spot. Like, they got way too many forwards as is. Like, they're gonna they're going to have to send, some guys down to the minors, most likely, who are currently forwards. And then, I could see the one, as I've said many times, is I could see, I don't see a PTO, but I could see another goalie addition potentially on the waiver wire, probably closer to the end of the preseason. I think that's a possibility. The other news for the Oilers that involves contracts would be extensions. McDavid, Wallman, Podkolzin, potentially stuff like that. But that's where I would see it. I don't see anything earth-shattering. Now, anything can happen. There could be a trade that no one expects right now. The other thing is, and we'll get into a little bit tomorrow on the show, because Tuesdays are the day we like to do kind of maybe a little bit more Oiler focused, one day a week. Obviously, there's not a whole bunch going on, but obviously many of you are diehard Oiler fans, rightfully so. So we like to get to kind of a day where we focus on it with Struds and Dave McCarthy and some of our regular hockey guests that we have. So tomorrow we'll have some an Oiler focus, and there is one area that the Oilers have something that no other team in the NHL has. An abundance of one thing on their team. And I think it's a strength. And I'm kind of surprised, but I get the sense for some people that there's an area of this team that is better than I think people believe, especially when you compare it to the rest of the league. It's in the elite category. So we'll talk about that specific element of the Oilers, and we'll go from there. Gregor McDavid won't come in until we get a goalie from Brian fan. I don't believe they're going to get a goalie in the next month, Brian. And I'm pretty sure that Connor McDavid will be signing a contract before September 15th. So I don't have it. Hey, Gregor, what happens if McDavid has a career and an injury in year 3 of his deal? Well, that'd be very unfortunate. Number one. Number two, he had already made $150 million, so I think he's good. 3, he would have insurance on his career. Elite players like that, they have insurance. Like there's some people that have had is it Jennifer Lopez? I think Jennifer Lopez had insurance on her legs, if I'm not mistaken, Cons. So, there are certain things. Yes, Connor McDavid would have insurance for his career. But, when someone brings up career-ending injuries, like when you think of how many players there are, how many players now, maybe when you're 38 and it's like you're older, but let's kind of go through the list. So Bobby Orr would be one, but Bobby Orr was in a time when you did not have the surgeries that are available for players today. If Bobby Orr played today, it wouldn't have been career-ending injury for him, right? It wouldn't have been. So, Mario Lemieux had some injury, but he had more health issues, due to cancer. His body was fighting cancer. How much did that weaken other parts of it? We'll never know, right? And he did have a little bit of a back issue early in his career. And so, that can happen to somebody, but that's something he played through with, time and time again. But when you look at like the greats of the greats, there's not many who had career-ending injuries prematurely, right? Eric Lindros got his bell rung too many times, unfortunately for him. Right? Bobby Orr happened in an era where there wasn't the advancements in surgery that we have today. But I can't really think of any. So I don't really ever think of career-ending injury. And if I was a player, signing a deal, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd get insurance, and then and we'll see. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday evening. Plan ahead. Playoffs, Riverhawks tomorrow. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Kruger made it through. We'll see. How are the lips feeling for Cons and Deck tomorrow? Oh, they'll both be in such a great mood. So tune in to the frenzy and low tide with those two tomorrow. Let's get to the comment and the Sports 1440 update brought to you by eWell, your partner in power since 1975. For all your electrical needs, think eWell. EWEL.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Linka Gretzky Cup underway in Czechia. Canada starting the tournament with a 5-3 win over Finland. They'll meet the Swiss tomorrow. Puck drop 7:30. Elsewhere, Sweden crushing Germany 10-0. The host Czechs knocked off Switzerland 6-2, and the U.S. doubled up Slovakia 6-3. Minnesota Wild announcing that they've signed defenseman Jack Johnson to a PTO. Johnson, 38, appeared in 41 games last season with Columbus, recording 6 assists, 12 games in the majors. Right now, Yankees just taking a 3-0 lead over the Twins out in New York. Reds up on the Phillies 1-0. Tigers, White Sox scoreless. Royals at home trail the Nationals 2-0 later on this evening. Rangers host the Diamondbacks, the Red Sox in Houston. Then the Cali teams meeting Angels and Dodgers, as well as the Padres in San Fran to wrap it all up. The Athletics hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. One game in the WNBA tonight. Sun taking on the Valkyries. Tip off 8 p.m. And some good news for the Philadelphia Eagles is, according to reports, Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson avoided a major injury. The plan is for him to undergo a meniscus surgery that will allow him to return early on in the 2025 season, potentially even week 1 against the Cowboys. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, we've got Fox Sports Radio all night. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on the Kevin Carius Show. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.